All right. Let's see. It's good to go. Episode number 7. I question everything with Sophia Smith. What's good, cuz?
Hey,
So you had some like comments and stuff about. Let me prepare myself for me and T Fred. What did you think about it?
it was good.
Hmm.
Except for the stuff that I hear like every single time we do one of these.
Hmm.
I will say I do not understand, and I don't think I'll. Yeah, I guess I'll never really fully. I don't want to say like not at all. The
Hmm.
circle reference thing, man, and how you're like that's your reason for why God exists.
Hmm.
That I don't know, because we talk about it almost every single time, and I still just, like, can't land. I can't land.
No, that makes sense. I mean, just well, one I could see like counter arguments to, which is that in Excel we're talking about numbers versus letters or whatever in words. And then I guess the other thing would be that we're talking about like physical things. That's probably how it started off. It didn't, our language didn't start off with like abstractions. Like I pointed to a tree and I said tree, and then like somebody would understand what I'm saying. And so there is no like circular reference there. It's pretty linear. Um, but yeah, just I feel like language is a proof that there's an existence for God. That's kind of what I'm seeing, or
Why
is what
not
I'm seeing.
us?
Yeah, I mean, we are. I mean, I feel like it's pretty obvious. Just like just waking up every day is a miracle and stuff like that, or it should be pretty obvious. But still, some people are atheists. Like they believe, and I don't even know what atheist really how you would define that, but believes in nothing did all this, like nothing created all this, and so I guess I was
Then
just kind
your
of yeah.
argument to, like, someone who's atheist would be like, "Well, I believe there's God because like, we have language."
Yeah, and then just to take yeah, essentially yeah. And because a lot of it, like we can even tear back the layers of how we came up with this thing that we came up with. And yeah, there's this guy named like Steven Pinker who thinks the same thing, was like a linguist person or studied language and stuff, and how it's just kind of hardwired into us. Um, and then another example is like saying like a dictionary was made from ink explosion in a factory, and like for all those words and stuff to just be nice and neat would be pretty crazy ideal to accept instead of thinking that there's like a creator of such a thing. I don't know how would I mean, yeah, you said just like looking at us and stuff. But yeah, I was just gonna ask like how would you explain then that there
Yeah, I think
is a
just
God?
all of creation.
Mm,
But, like, yeah, you're right. There's people who say Big Bang, so, like, they would say that's why there's no God. But also I feel like it's not meant to be proven. I think it's supposed to be what it is. It's faith, it's belief. If it was 100% like factual, then would it be faith? Like it's not faith. It's like science at that point, right?
mhm. Yeah, that's what people
So,
say too. Mhm.
yeah, so like then I started to think like, well, like sometimes you'll say like, yeah, of course, question everything, but sometimes you'll get into like really wanting to know why, like trying to understand a lot of things. And I feel like when you know there's a God, you know you're not meant to know everything because he knows everything. And you mentioned something about like God must have been bored he created us because he knows all, like, he knows everything, so he was just like, "Why not add people or something?" And so my thought is, like, sometimes I feel like you really like, you'll really wanna know why, and you try to really get into it. So I wonder, like, if you do believe there's a God, don't you believe, like, you're not meant to know all? Because then you would be a god?
Yeah, for sure. That's what yes, to answer your question directly. And then I would say that that's why I think like God is living through us because God was tired of knowing everything and was wondering like what it would be like to not know everything, which would be the flip side of that to know nothing. And that's why I think that God is us, but we're not God. And so that would go back to like the Christian faith or religion, where it says like some people think they conflate it, at least from my point of view, is that they're conflating that ideal and they're saying that Jesus is God. But to me, it's like, no, God is Jesus, but Jesus isn't God. And somebody that I was talking with on Monkey came up with a pretty good rationale for this, which was why, when Jesus was on the cross, would Jesus be praying to God if Jesus was already God? What is
I
your take
can't
on that?
I can't say 100%, but I think that's just because when he was on Earth, he was in the figure of a human like us. Like, so he was showing us what it was like to be in human form. So therefore there was God because he was like earthbound and like human, I guess you could say.
So are you saying, do you think that Jesus is God?
Yeah, it's three: Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Yeah, and they're like, how do you describe the Trinity?
They
Isn't
are
it
one.
but separate, right?
Well, they are one but holy, Spirit, Father, Son. So God, Jesus, Holy Spirit.
Yeah, are you saying then that so they're not separate, they're just in different, I mean, but that would say that they're separate if I say that they're in different forms.
I guess you could decide if you think they're separate, but I think they're one with, like, they're one but different parts. Like you're a father, a son, and a brother, but you're one, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so I feel like that's him.
Yeah, that's how I feel about us as people too, is that we're one but separate things. And but if we're going off that rationale, then like obviously I'm not you.
No.
You saying no like you agree or no as in I I
No,
am you.
no, you are not me.
Okay, so yeah, you agree with that. And that's what I'm saying then. That would be the rationale then for God and stuff. Being not being Jesus, but Jesus not being God.
How's that work?
Because I just see it like artwork too. Like if I make a piece of art, like I put a piece of myself in that art, but obviously the art's not me.
Uh, as much as you think they are one with different parts, you're saying that uh I don't know
That
what you're saying.
they're separate. They're one but separate.
But like what does that mean when you say they're separate?
That God is Jesus, but Jesus isn't God. It's
Yeah,
like
okay, that part.
yeah,
That's a part I don't, so if it can be the one way, why is it not the other way?
because it's like saying uh Rottweiler is a dog, but a dog isn't a Rottweiler. Or parse that out is a dog is not always a Rottweiler. So yeah, does that make sense? A
I agree. A
Rottweiler is a
dog is not always a Rottweiler.
right. A
Yes.
Rottweiler is a dog. So that'd be saying a Rottweiler is a dog, but a dog is not always a Rottweiler. And but I wanted to make it short, but I want to make it shorter and to the point, which is a Rottweiler is a dog, but a dog is not a Rottweiler because I could also say a dog is a
So
lab.
so what is the thing? Jesus is
Yeah, God is Jesus, but Jesus isn't God.
oh
Because I think
like
any one of us can step up to the plate and be that Jesus on earth now. Do the right thing.
well, I think that's more so of like your perception of like what is to be of to live like Jesus. Like I think you can live like Jesus, but you'll never be Jesus.
Correct. Right. I agree with
Because
that.
like you're not gonna rise from the dead.
I mean, who
I
knows?
mean, I don't know, maybe you will, but I also don't think you'll perform miracles, and I don't think you'll walk on water, and I don't think you'll probably do a lot of the things that Jesus did. So therefore, I would say, yeah, I don't think you would be a Jesus. You could live like him, but I don't think you could be a him.
Because this is because we have that connection with Jesus, meaning like I go, Jesus, how are you? Like I'm bound to this language. Jesus, how are you? And so right there is our connection is that everyone is you, but you are not everyone. Because you can go, Victor, how are you? And so there's the common denominator between me and Jesus.
Yeah, I don't think I need any of this weird type of language talk to like get that. I mean, if I believe in a God, I know that God created us, therefore we're all literally the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Also different. Like to
Yeah,
like
because
say
we
that
are
we're
different.
right, but the same because we came from the same source. So we're
Yeah, for
both,
sure. We're all
yeah.
literally humans.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're all one of ones. And that would make us, you know, different, but also the same because we're all one of ones.
Yeah.
So is there,
Onward.
yep,
Okay.
onward.
So then, I don't know if these notes are like in order or like what,
Hmm.
but you guys mentioned something about like feelings
Hmm.
and mm, it was like I wish I could remember exactly what you guys were talking about, but something about feelings, and I was saying like feelings are so important because they help you know. So I was just thinking like if you ignore feelings, you do not know things.
Hmm.
And I know feelings aren't factual, but again, they give you knowledge of knowing. So if I go outside and I feel things falling on my skin and it feels wet, I will then know it's raining because of a feeling on my skin, right? Like if I go outside and I feel like it's hot, I can know that it's possibly sunny. Like feelings, like, so if you ignore feelings, because I know a lot of people shove feelings down and don't process feelings and they don't think feelings are important. But if you pay attention to the feelings, that will give you answers in knowing.
Yeah, I agree.
But like I wish I could remember like why that was wrote down. I don't know why. Um
What did you write down?
it was literally that feelings help you know. Like if I feel wet when I'm outside, I know it's raining. Um, and then I wrote something that says society doesn't allow time to process emotions, and we're expected to move on, leaving people emotionally numb. And that's why when people start feeling again, they turn to drugs at times because it gets too intense. That was also somewhere mentioned about like, yeah, I guess when you guys said like processing emotions or something, like I do believe we live in a society that we have to go go go, we have to work, we have to take care of children, we have to like, you can't sit and fully process because you have things to do. So, like, when things that are traumatic or whatever happen to people, they're like, "Well, move on. You gotta move on." And I think society shapes us this way because they don't allow people to take the time to process, and then you end up with people who have really bad coping mechanisms such as, like, sex, drugs, drinking, like, gambling, like, those are all coping mechanisms that people will use because of unprocessed emotions, having to deal with either depression, anxiety, traumas. And yeah, I feel like we're kind of just set up that way. But again, I wish I could remember exactly what you guys were saying that like made me write that.
I agree with all that. It took me a while to like recognize that. I mean, I definitely felt like growing up that I was being told the message that feelings are second nature and not reliable.
Mm. Well, they do say feelings aren't factual, which is something that I understand that, but
Yeah,
I
but the
think
fact that we
sometimes it's
have
not.
feelings is a fact.
Yeah, and so again, if you pay attention to your feelings, it will help you know. So if I'm feeling sad, I will know why I'm crying. If I'm feeling mad, I will know why I just punched someone in the face. Like, so feelings are so important to understand and process. Um, Another thing I wrote down, people use assumptions to feel safe. If you assume you look suspicious, I'll move more cautiously. So that gets carried into reading emotions or feelings. You look mad. Why assume? Just ask, are you mad? So many people are in survival mode and they lose real communication, jumping to conclusions after asking questions to get actual answers. Okay, I kind of remember this. So I think maybe you said something about like, are you mad? Or you look mad. And so I think in today's society, a lot of people are actually in survival mode, and living in survival mode is just literally fight or flight. Like you're trying to protect yourself as best as possible. So if I already assume that you look mad, I may like guard my body. Like I'll try to protect myself because if I live off these assumptions and assume things, I'm keeping myself safe. And I feel like society really lives that way. Like when you look at stereotypes and prejudices, it's like, oh, black people rob, black people are dangerous, black people are criminal. Where's that coming from? Some type of survival to say, like, if I walk around, I better guard my purse when I'm in this ghetto neighborhood because I'm protecting myself. I'm assuming that you are a type of way in order to protect myself.
Yeah, and it's like a defense mechanism for some people to even look that way too.
Yeah, totally. So I feel like it kind of sucks to live in a society that is more geared towards assuming things about people rather than trying to get to know people.
Mhm.
And so then that's where, because you guys, I think, still mentioned like going somewhere and like asking how they're doing, like you don't really care. Like you go to check out at a grocery store and they're like, "Hey, how are you?" Like that's not a real conversation, you know? And so
Mhm.
I feel like with this like what did I write? I said, there's no more depth to conversations. No one cares how you're doing, but it's polite to ask at a restaurant as a server. It's disingenuine. It's just a format. It doesn't allow depth. If we stopped doing it, you would know when someone really cared to know how you were doing rather than program speech. So, yeah, I feel like we do live in a society that is very like a format that doesn't allow depth. It's just like these automatic things that you do, but it's never to make actual connections. But again, society has shaped us this way because I think we're fast paced, we're not really actually that deep because we don't allow people to process emotions because we don't have time for that. Like it's just you put on a face and you go. And I'm like very anti, like I probably seem rude, but it is very hard for me to ask someone back. Like if they're like, "Hey, how are you?" Good. Because like to be honest, if I don't know you and I'm just passing, like I don't care. And I know that sounds rude, but it's you're doing the format and I know you're doing the format, so I'm not, why should I do the format?
So I guess my thing with that is, are you cool with me also just doing this Facebook Live, like
Oh yeah,
video
that's
taping this?
fine.
Okay. All right. Um, so for me, it has to do again with the oneness and that we're in this together. So that's why I would care when I ask someone, anyone, how they're doing. I also think what you're saying was like when people are short and they just say one word like good, then that's a telltale sign that like either they're in autopilot, something's off there, or they're not doing well themselves. Because to get technical with it, like to ask a question or to say a statement, you need three words. So like at least explicitly versus like implicit. Um, so for instance, when
But not
Bridget,
to answer though. Like you could be like, I'm like amazing. Like how are you? Amazing, right?
yeah, yeah, I mean, and then I mean, I guess I see where you're coming from with that because I could say wonderful, and that means like full of wonder. But like to just say good though, there's no other word built into that besides that one word.
Well, there's synonyms. I just feel like it's so formatted. Unless somebody responds with, "Man, today's been really hard and I'm really going through it." Like then I care, right? Like I'm listening. But the formatted speech of, "Hey, how are you? I'm good. How are you doing? Oh, I'm great." Like that is just like why don't we just shorten it and be like, "Hey, man. Hey, dude." Like to me that seems way more genuine because I'm like just greeting a person, "Hi," but the whole like, "How are you?" Like if you're not going to really tell me how you are, like it just seems so formatted and pointless. Like, yeah, for sure. Sometimes there's like, hey, like, how are you really doing? Like, there's people like your family, or something like they care, right? But like I'm saying, like a server and things like that, like they don't really care. So like, why is that format there? Like, I'm not gonna lie, when I was serving, I didn't ask these people. I said, hey, what's up? What can I get you? I didn't get complaints. I was a great server. I was very fast and people just want to eat. Like they're here for a service. They just want to eat. Like, dude, they don't care.
Do you
Some
think
people
that
I
we have
do think
uh
some people are like, you should have asked me. But like tip me zero, dude. I don't care.
do you think though that we have like a bull crap meter built into us though to decipher those things? Because I feel like if we knew ourselves enough, then we would know like the signs that other people are giving off.
I mean, I would just say so in any like usual instance where it's someone's doing a job or a service, like a grocery clerk, a server, or like when you buy something at like a shopping store, a clothing store, like they're not gonna try and really sit there with you and like examine your day because they have to do their job, right? Like they don't really have time to see how I'm doing. But like let's say maybe a teacher asks, how are you doing? You might say like you might think like yes, they actually have more concern, right? But like somebody who's doing like this service for you, kind of like it's like they're just it's formatted.
I mean, I feel like
Like the
that
last time you went out to eat
sometimes,
at a restaurant, do you think your server actually cared how you were doing?
sometimes.
Okay, that's fair. I think yeah, sure. There's probably sometimes, but majority of the time, like when you go to a bank, do you think the bank teller is really like, "Hey, Victor, you haven't deposited money in a while. Are you doing okay?" Like, I don't think they really care.
Yeah, I mean, possibly. I mean, next time we should, I guess, try, or I should try,
Like,
which
I think when you
is,
get rapport, like, I remember going to the pharmacy so much, um, that one of them, I think it was when I was in Kansas, one of them, would be excited to see each other. But, like, I'm pretty sure in the beginning, we kinda were like, "Eh," but he'd be like, "What's going on today?" Like, eventually, once rapport is built, you kinda care more and you fall out of the format. Like, when the rapport is there, a deeper connection can build. But, like, when you are stranger, random people every day to day, I just don't think it's a very genuine thing, especially when there's, like, service working involved.
well, I think that should change. That should be
I
the exception versus the general rule.
change how? Like, you think it should become more real? Like, they should have to be more real?
No, I just think there should be a change in mindset or a shift in mindset because we are losing people. It does feel like we are getting further disconnected, or we're getting disconnected. I won't even say further. I'll just say, yeah, that we're getting disconnected.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. Cause today it was today and another day, I can't remember what the other day was that I was doing, but, like, this time when I went to eat with my parents today, I was like, "I'm gonna actually care if this, like, person walking us to the table, like, asks how I'm doing." And, like, I'm really gonna, like, talk to him. And I'm not kidding, once I, like, didn't give him the standard, he was, like, smiling and laughing and, like, cheerful. But it's like, when you stay in the format or you're not willing to give from the format, like, yeah, it's a very, like, not friendly or not personal, like,
Where was this at? What?
we went to eat at Red Lobster and the host was, like, walking us to the table and he had asked something like, "Are you guys here for a celebration or like what brings you in?" And I was like, my dad's in town. He loves Red Lobster, so we go almost every single time. It's kind of like a thing." He's like, "Oh, it's like a tradition." I was like, "Yeah, pretty much." And like we kind of like just started like joking a little bit, but like I could have just been like, "Oh yeah, we're going to eat." Because like realistically, we were just going to eat. It's not a tradition, but it is something that if my dad is in town, sometimes we do go to Red Lobster. Like it's not like this agenda that we have when my dad's in town to go do. But yeah, I feel like giving more because you are showing like, okay, I care that you're talking to me. I know you're doing a job and I know you ask these questions like every single time, but like let me show you I care that you're talking to me. And I
Mm.
think that's what makes it better.
And then this might be, I might have been getting a little lost or whatever, but is this when you went with your dad just recently, or are you talking about Friendsgiving? No, you
No,
went over with
today
friends.
with my mom and dad.
Oh, okay, they're in town, true. That's what's up. Um, and I was gonna say, like, even though, what's up, Bella? We got 4 viewers, 5 viewers. Bella says A, and then Uncle Mike joined too. What up? And
Hey,
Emily,
Uncle
what up?
Mike.
Uncle Mike. Um, but the other thing was like, even though you have to ask these questions like over and over, and this is where I'm gonna get in the nitty gritty because this is where my mind goes. But it's like, it's still the first time that you're asking that question. Like every day is a new day type of thing. Bella says,
Sure, but
Sophia
it
with the heart.
sure, but it is still definitely like formatted. Like it's a format.
Yeah, so like
Like, even imagine if
sitting,
you went to a grocery store and, like, you were checking out and the guy was like, "What's good, my man?" Like, that even switches it up just a
mm,
little bit, and you're already
mm.
gonna be, like, in a different like, "Hey, how's it going?" or "How are you doing today?" Like, that is just, like, so formatted because like, it doesn't even show your own personality. Like, what's good, my brother? That could like that shows maybe more like I don't know, like it doesn't give genuine because it's just so whatever. Like you could say hi and hello, but you could be like, yo, like that shows like your authenticity, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, I guess that's just why I don't like it because it seems fake.
Yeah, the enthusiasticness behind it and stuff of that nature.
And then you guys talked about like isolating yourself or something.
Hmm.
And I said people isolate when overwhelmed rather than going to their community. Oh, and then I was saying I think people isolate and stay by themselves rather than going to their community because a lot of the times people aren't safe. Because, like I said earlier, people are living in survival mode. So, when people are living in survival mode, their reactions aren't always safe because they're trying to survive too. Like, they're high panic mode, whatever. So, like, when you're overwhelmed and you go to a person to share something and then they're already attacking you or blaming you, and you've experienced that, like, you're probably like, "Okay, I'm just gonna stay isolated into myself," and that seems safer. So I think that is why sometimes people aren't building these communities, they're not reaching out and talking to their friends because they've been met with people who don't give them safety. And it feels because then they go to survival mode, right? Like, they chose isolation as surviving. So that's what they choose, and you're like, "Well, man, why weren't you talking to me? Blah, blah, blah." And it's like, maybe because they've experienced like people attacking them and making them feel like what they did was wrong or not understanding them. I think that's a very common thing for people to choose isolation because of reactions of others.
But we can't let that dictate our lives, right?
Mm. I mean, it just gives reason as to why people isolate. Because I think I don't know exactly what you and Tyler was saying, but I think something was mentioned in that and, like, why people close themselves off and, like, don't talk to other people and how it's important to talk to people and have your friends in your community. And I'm saying, like, well, you're not going to wanna talk to others if they're not safe. So, like, it's our job to be safe, right? It's our job to be a place where someone can speak freely and not feel judged or shamed or things like that. And if we don't do that, then we're going to have people stay isolated.
I guess I would say that isolation is dangerous.
It is dangerous. But why I just explained why they isolate. So for them it's dangerous to go out to community, to friends, to people. Why? Their reaction. So then they go isolate. So our job, not like just the two of us, but everybody, like we have to be safe. We have to be available to be open-minded, non-judgmental, to be listening rather than always trying to fix because that allows safety. And when we don't do that, there are people who will isolate because that feels safer.
Hmm. I get what you're saying. I agree. I will also say that we can't be afraid to share it just because of somebody's reaction to what we're going to say. Even if it's completely off base, we have to be willing to listen to that person's response about our response.
I agree 100%. Isolating yourself and not speaking your mind is not good, but neither is the other version. Like, say you go to me and you're like, Sophia, like, I don't know what you would tell me, but I keep telling you, like, I'm not safe. Like, I'm making you feel bad about it. I'm making you confused about it. I'm refusing to understand you. I'm making you feel stupid. Like, would you keep coming to me to tell me these things?
Maybe
If
not
that's
like
how I'm making you feel?
To some degree, I think it's on me though to make me feel how I want to feel. Like I can't
I agree
necessarily
to
put
some,
that
yeah,
all on
to
you
some
to.
degree, but I'm also playing a part in that. And like, I agree, you shouldn't have to keep these things inside and you should go to community. You shouldn't isolate what's going on. But if I'm this person who's like throwing it in your face and making you feel terrible about it, you're probably just going to feel better not talking to me. So, in that sense, I feel like as much as you can control your side, I have to still not be that person.
Mhm,
Like it's both of us. If I'm safe, you come to me. If I'm not safe, you stay alone. So it's like we both have jobs in this world, right?
mhm. Yeah, we do.
I just think a lot of the world, a lot of society has happened to be unsafe.
So I kind of see it as the world is scary. However, it's my job to be brave. Does that make
Yeah, sure.
sense?
I mean, I think that makes sense. The world can be scary in
This is
some
scary.
situations. This?
Yeah, this is scary to me.
Oh,
But again, like I have to be brave to do this. And I think like we're talking about words and stuff, and I think it's like a lie to say that words are cheap because even in the Bible it says like it even says that the tongue can bring life or death. So does that fit the narrative that words are cheap?
I
Like for
don't think words are
instance,
cheap.
yeah,
I
I
think
don't think
words
so
are cheap
either.
when you don't follow with actions.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I think words are super powerful. Words have meaning. Words can actually be hurtful.
Mm-hmm. Or healing.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah, definitely.
the Bible talks about the walls of Jericho falling with the people beating their
What?
drums and
Hold on, my mom doesn't know where the light's at.
all good.
The light for where? I have everything labeled. Okay, sorry, I'm back.
It's all good. Nothing to be sorry about.
I don't know. Where were you?
Um, yeah, that words are powerful.
Oh yeah.
One of the things that you hear growing up, don't say hate or that's a powerful word.
No.
Or like if you say like you hate someone, they're like, so me growing up, I would hear that if I said I hated someone, they'd be like, oh, be like that's a powerful thing to say or whatever. Be careful what you say. But like not thinking about it, that's like a weak word to say.
Because you shouldn't hate anyone.
Yeah.
I actually never heard that, but I will say I would never say I hated anybody. I had never ever said that. And when I would say like, oh, I hate that, I'd say if I was texting, I'd say H8
Hmm.
because I was like, ah, like that's such a powerful word. Like this wasn't because anyone said anything. It was just like I had started to feel that way about the word, and I'd never, ever, ever say it. And
Hmm.
then it was crazy because when I was being abused by my coach, I used to say, I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. And that, again, I would never say that to anybody. And so it was really confusing for me because I'm like, this isn't a good feeling and I should never hate anybody. So
Hmm.
I'd like kind of in a way gaslight myself into being like, Sophia, don't hate him. Like, he's a human. Don't hate him. And I honestly should have been hating him because it would have helped me understand like he's harming you. But I was too much like, you can't hate him. You have to love him and be kind and blah blah blah. So that's why I think feelings give you knowing. Because if I would have paid attention to these hate feelings, I would have known maybe something's not right here. Because I never hated anyone before.
I think there's something there. with like you're able to love people but be cautious, maybe it might be because I don't want to say like I hate anybody. And like, what do you think then the saying turn the other cheek means?
Like you don't hit someone back. Like if someone hits you, you don't have to hit them back. You just walk away or just turn the other cheek. Like it doesn't have to be met with the same violence. Like
Mm-hmm.
if I call you a B word, you don't have to call me one back.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought turning the cheek kind of meant. Like you don't meet them. Like you go above them. But going above them is more powerful in the way of like not meeting them, I guess you could say. Because meeting them is where you show the weakness. Like, what is that saying that I say? Like, oh God, I can't remember.
Two wrongs don't
It's
make a
not like
right.
rise above them. It's like, I don't know why I keep thinking about Michelle Obama.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
I've heard her say it before.
when they go low, we go high.
What is it?
When they go low, we go high.
Wait, can I not hear you anymore? What happened?
When they go low, we go high.
Yeah, 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 that's it.
Can you hear
So
me
like
though?
that's huh?
Okay, you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, but yeah, I would have got it with the hands, I think. But yeah, that's what I think of it. It's like you don't meet them where they're at.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
You don't want to mirror their actions and like bring yourself down, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, cuz you want to be above that, and being above that is turning the other cheek.
Yeah, you don't want. Okay, yeah, and
Yeah,
like this is probably where, like, when you look in the mirror, who do you see?
myself.
Okay,
Why do you see someone else? I'm creeped out.
no, I was just gonna say like, do you see you when you look in a mirror? So like when you say the words "I hate you," is there any connection there that where somehow it like comes back to yourself? And maybe we already like hit it with what we're saying before,
Well,
but
yeah, that is true though.
yeah.
Like what you project out to the world is like how you feel about yourself, and I loved myself, so that's why I'm saying I was so confused to be like hating somebody. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. I've never
Mm,
hated anyone. Like I only love people and I only treat people with respect. So for me to say this, I just couldn't understand it. But the feeling, I feel like if I would have sat and processed it and really looked at it, I think it could have shown me that someone was harming me rather than like saying, "Don't feel like that, Sophia. That's not right. That's not right. You should never hate anyone." Because that's what I was doing. Like, you don't hate people, Sophia. That's not right. That's not you. That's not okay.
mhm.
Okay, so the very last thing I have, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
This one's hot and heavy. Well, actually, not really, but like, it's just the last one.
Well,
So then,
all right, so Aaron says a lot of people take turning the other cheek as a negative. I've been in arguments of being the bigger person's a negative because we're turning the cheek for the wrong reasons. Does that resonate with you?
yeah, I mean, I think the thing is, I don't think society has very great morals.
Hmm.
So, like,
Like our
I
moral
don't think
compass is whack. Like,
as a society, yeah. I don't think the society we live in says like turn the other cheek. Like, like when they go low, you go high. Like, I don't think our society lives like that. I think our
yeah,
society
they're
says
saying
meet
when
them.
somebody goes low, we go lower.
Yeah, that's what I think our society is actually at.
Uh-huh.
So, like, I think for this person, like, they're trying to do the turning the other cheek and they're kind of like frowned upon in a sense because it's like not
Mhm.
working. Is that what it is? Like, is that what that kind of was saying?
I'm not sure, Aaron, did we hit that or did we do a good job of explaining that? So whenever she responds, or if she doesn't, we can address it then. But yeah, I just think that yeah, like you attract what you put out type of thing too. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
like
I don't
whatever you
actually
do is
believe that though.
what would believe what.
Because then that would mean like if I like feel good about myself and I love myself and I'm happy, like no bad things would ever happen to me, right?
I just think that you're able to see it in a different light and take it a different way, and you can spin it so that it'll be a good thing.
So you just perceive things like in a more positive manner. You're more optimistic than pessimistic.
Yeah, it's like a mindset. I think like we're not taught how to have good mindsets either, like in school or whatever it is. Like I was talking to Tyler about how the refrigerator was dripping nonstop and how it leaked into our garage. And but to me, I was
And you
like,
looked at it as a good thing.
yeah, I saw it like as a sign, like all I have to do is keep dripping, just keep dripping. I'm gonna make it to where like I ought to be and ought to go.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. You just are more optimistic about a situation that could be most people would see as a negative thing.
Yeah. And then Aaron says, turn the other cheek, meaning I ignore the ignorance. So for me, I feel like I don't necessarily want to ignore it. I want to address it and I want to acknowledge it because I think if we allow things to fester and we ignore things, then that's not good. That's not going to
Yeah,
be
I
good.
agree. Yeah, I feel like it's in a I guess it depends on what it is exactly, because like in a way it's like a bystander effect, or like you're enabling something, or you're
Hmm.
just sitting back. Like
Like we got to check
I
somebody when they're not doing the right thing.
Yeah, like let's just say for instance, like you were verbally abusive towards Katie or something, and I'm
Hmm.
sitting there and I hear you and I just let that fly. Like if I
You're
heard that,
part of
you
the
best believe,
problem.
even though you're my cousin, I'm gonna
Mhm.
check you. I'm gonna say you do not talk to your wife like that.
Good.
And like she's not my family, but it's not right, and that's abuse. Like that
Hmm.
is verbal abuse. So yeah, if I don't check you and I just ignore it and say, "Well, that's not my problem." That to me, I don't like that.
You know what? Because this reminds me of this Peter Parker in Spider-Man where he lets that guy run past him even though he knew he should have checked him and it comes back to get him.
Yes. Boom. Yeah. Yeah, and like I think again, like I think society lives like that. They're kind of like that's not my problem, or that's none of my business, or
It's eventually going to
like
come back around
they'll
to you.
figure it out. Like if you have some awareness of what is going on, it does become part of your problem, part of your something. But like let's just say like you I don't want like everybody Victor's not doing this to his wife, I swear, but like if you were being verbally abusive and cussing her out and I didn't know about it and I never knew about it, yeah, it's not my job to say anything because I don't know. But if I'm sitting there and I hear it, it's my business now.
Hmm.
And maybe you guys can talk about it later because like that's your business like too to go talk about it. But like if I'm there and I hear it, or someone comes, like you come to me or she comes to me and tells me that's how someone's talking, it's my business. Because I just like when people are like, that's not my business. It's like, well, you know about it. So like it partially is your business. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think like the other thing is that you want to like you should want to see me do good too. Like so it's just also about setting me on the right path.
100%. Because I think that's how you grow. Because if nobody tells you, like, you could have grown up thinking that's normal. Like, that could have been your normal. Like, that's how I'm used to people talking to each other. It's not bad. But if I try to correct that and do it with love, obviously, I'm not like
Hmm.
cussing back at you. Like, I'm like, Victor, like, it's really not okay to talk to someone like that. It's disrespectful and it can be hurtful. And like checking you in a kind and in trying to inform you kind of way, hopefully you take it well and you use it to grow and no longer talk to someone like that. Like that, I feel like that helps growth. And so by me not saying anything, I'm not showing love to you because I'm not wanting you to grow. I'm like, you know what? Stay that way. Be that way. Like, you don't deserve to be better. So, yeah, because I love you, I'll check you and look out for Katie.
Hmm.
And I think I wish more of the world was like that.
Yeah, we have to stand up for each other, or else, yeah, we're gonna get divided and we will fall. This
Exactly.
isn't, yeah, we can't take anything for a guarantee.
100. Okay, ready for the last one?
Yeah, what's up?
Okay, so then you guys started to talk about black and white thinking and like all or nothing and like
Hmm.
you mentioned the one you mentioned, I was like, that one's not even black and white. You're like, the one that I see that's not black and white are, I think you
Hmm.
said numbers?
I was saying that numbers is where the gray area
Yeah.
lies.
And that's the one where I was like, I don't know about that one, but okay, do you know where black and white thinking comes from?
Where does it come from?
So black and white thinking, I'm not going to say always here, but it does tend to come from, it can come from disorders, it can come from trauma. And so it is a way of thinking that isn't actually very healthy because it can put things in more simplistic ways. So if I put only two options, it gives me a sense of control because I know it's either this or that. So when you use nuance, it's going to be harder to regulate the control because now there's this broad spectrum. So when people do think in like a all or nothing or black and white, it's just it's a way to control things. It's a way to feel safer because I know that it's either right, wrong, no middle. I know it's one or the other. So like
Hmm.
with your thinking like that, I will say
Hmm.
that it's not actually like I don't want to be mean, like I don't want to sound mean, but it's not like healthy to look at things like that because there actually is nuance. Because the world and we as people are very complex. Like we are the like think about me. I am not black and I'm not full Mexican. Like I'm literally a gray area. Like I'm not black and I'm not Mexican. Like I'm not even white. So like where would I fit on a all or nothing or a black or white or black or Mex? Like I don't. Like I'm literally a mesh.
I'm
Like I
saying
am
that.
nuance.
So this is where I would say though that that thinking doesn't jive with me because you can say definitively that you're one fourth black, one fourth Mexican. Like there's still objectivity
But
in
I'm
what.
half and half because
Yeah, that's fine. You're half and half, and that would be objectively true.
yeah, that is true. But like if somebody says
But
like
people,
you're either
to
black or Mexican, where do I fall? Because it's either all black, all Mexican. Like that would be two things. Like the nuance is the spectrum.
that's what I would say though. Like, where do you fall? You fall. You're half black, half brown, or whatever. Half black, half
Y-
Mexican. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
use colors. Yeah.
But like that's the thing. Like okay, so if you can get that, then you get nuance.
But see, what people try to do is what it seems like everyone tries to do is say that there's no moral absolutism, but there is. Like morals are absolute. That's how I feel for sure. Like I'm
Yeah,
not gonna get.
yeah, that's how you feel, and that's a black and white thinking is not actually healthy because there's complex situations. Like if
Here,
someone
so
steals from a grocery store,
me smoking weed at any time, do you think that's good for my health or bad for my health? And are you going to try to add a nuanced twist to that to say,
it's
well, it's
bad for
good for your health
your
in this situation, but bad for your health in another situation?
well, it's bad for your health, but if you have cancer and you have pain, then I feel like it's something that is helping you get through the rest of your day. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's bad for your health because it's helping you get through your day through with your pain, or because like it's medicinal, like it can be prescribed as this medicinal thing, right? So if I were to just sit here and say I smoke weed, like, would you judge me and be like, "Oh, you smoke?" But I'm like, "Well, actually, cuz did you know I got leukemia and da da da." Like, so it's like there's nuance, like there's reasoning. There's not always just a one answer why someone smokes weed.
One table that just for Tracy says it's a good topic. Thanks for talking about it in a safe space, guys. All right, black and gray provides a lot of flexibility, but it also provides a lot of room for errors with the flexibility of errors. I work in a field where we work in the gray area all of the time. It's about individual accountability and moral compasses. One of the things I want to say about that, about the weed, is weird because how is that? How am I able to? This might be one of the worst drugs out there, actually, because how am I able to go get it medicinally and recreationally? Now, see, that's just like a twisted gray area in and of itself. What other drug am I able to go and say, hey, I want to try some Valium this week. Yeah, can I get it recreationally this time? Like that's
Ketamine.
some ketamine.
You can do ketamine treatments. They help with depression, anxiety, PTSD, but people also use it as a party drug.
You got to go to the doctor
Even
though to get it prescription. You're saying,
like a therapist, a psychiatrist, yeah.
yeah. So I can't just go and say, hey, I want to
Oh, but
party
I
this
know
weekend.
people who can get it to party. I know
No,
people, they call it like
I
K or something, I don't know.
but like you're not allowed to actually say this is the reason I want it for is to go party, psychiatrist.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like weed might be one of the most twisted things out there due to the fact that you're able to get it recreationally and medicinally. Like alcohol, you don't go to a doctor and be like, hey, today I'm going to try it medicinally, but this other time I'm going to try it recreationally.
I see what you're saying, but I understand why it's medicinal and I understand why people use it as recreation though. Because think about why do people use it as recreational sometimes? Because they're probably going through something and using it in a way that's helping them cope. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe they didn't actually go to a doctor and they're not even diagnosing themselves, but they're treating themselves on their own
Mm-hmm.
without going through a doctor.
Yeah, self medicating.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just saying, yeah, do you like you get how twisted that is though?
I don't really
How,
think it's twisted.
how cross the wires are for something for us to be as a society not pick a side and go, it's recreational today, but tomorrow I'm gonna say that it's medicinal because my back hurts.
No, because it's not black and white. It's nuanced. What's wrong with it having nuance? Why does it have to be either good for recreation or good for medicinal? Why can't it just be both? Like that's nuance. Because the world is complex. We are complex.
Mm.
Like I think there's like just so much complexity, and like I know where you're saying in the morals, like that just shows like where you 100% stand. Like I see something and it's either going to be wrong or it's going to be right, and that's where you stand, right? But like
Mhm.
for us to even be safe people to somebody, like I would have to be able to understand someone's gray, and that could be somebody who's, I don't know. So like I guess when it comes to, I don't want to bring in transgender, so we'll just like do gay people and like bi people. Like so do bi people not exist? Do you think there's like just like gay and straight people?
I don't know. For before we get to that, Tracy says, do people say that about drugs too, medicinal versus recreational? That makes
Say
sense.
what? No.
Do people say what? What's the question, Tracy? Oh, wait, let me see. Okay. Um, that is crazy. Is there any other animal that has sex with boys, like men and
Well,
with
I mean, my dog humps other boy dogs, and I wouldn't really call my dog gay.
or bisexual, but that would be like a dominance trait though, right?
I don't know what it is. I just think he's crazy.
You're speaking about marijuana, but does that apply to drugs too?
Oh, like all other drugs? Well, then I no, because right, none of them are medicinal and recreational. Except for, well, I thought ketamine would be considered that because people do use it recreationally and some people go actually get help for it.
But I'm saying like from the perspective of society, there's no ketamine dispensary where it's like you can say that you're
Well,
here
there's
for
like treatment
recreational.
facilities,
Yeah, you're saying treatment, you're saying medical again though.
but isn't that the medicinal of it?
Yes, but there's not then a recreational side of it.
Oh, like a legal recreational
Yeah,
side. There
yeah,
you go. Legal recreational side. There you go.
sure.
Okay, well, in what is it, Colorado? Mushrooms? Isn't that like legal? People do it recreationally, but I'm sure people do it. There's also people who do it in like treatments. I don't know exactly what the name of it is, but I'm pretty sure there are like treatments that they'll use to, I don't know if
Yeah,
it
for
helps with the memory or
PTSD and
something.
stuff like that.
Yeah. So
But
that's
but
one
but it's wait, are you saying that mushrooms in Colorado are
because they're legal
legal
for
for
recreation.
recreational?
I think it's
But they're
Colorado.
not labeled also medical. Like
But you
what?
can do, but there are treatments I believe that
Like you
are
can
for
see it
medical
as
stuff.
medical, right? I'm saying from like the law
I mean,
perspective.
they might not have got there yet. Like think how long
Mhm.
it took for marijuana to get there. And
Mhm.
like think about it, this is only in Colorado.
Yeah, I would just say then that people really need to like just I would say that it's probably a good idea to find that moral compass because people can say like a lot of things. That's like saying the purge becomes real. Like, are you just gonna go around killing people because now, from a legal perspective, like it's okay to do that? Like, does that make it okay at that point? Because we're talking about nuance and stuff. Like, would you see that as okay because the
That
law
doesn't
says it's the type of way?
that doesn't make it okay, but nuance, okay, this is another thing. Understanding doesn't mean you have to agree. You know that, right?
Yeah. What do you mean by that?
So
Yes,
like
I understand what you're saying.
I can understand why there if the purge is happening, I could understand why my neighbor next door is out killing people. I can understand it, but that doesn't mean I have to agree with it, right?
Yeah,
That's
that
the
like it's
nuance. That's the
okay to.
nuance. That's
Yeah, but just I don't
the
understand what
middle.
you're
Like
saying. You're saying that it's
killing
a
is
great.
bad,
Yeah, then there's no
right?
nuance to
And
it.
then killing's bad, but
How
then
is there
there's
nuance?
also the purge. It's legal, right? It's
Yes,
right. So
correct.
in the middle, it's like I guess this isn't even I don't know what this is, but I guess this is just standing in your morals. So like whether you know it's right or wrong, you don't have to agree with it, but I would understand why people are out in the streets doing it. Like I'm not going to sit here and be like you're bad, you're bad, you're bad. I'm just going to be like you're just following the orders of what it is today. Like I understand. Doesn't mean I have to go do it because I have my own morals and values, right? But it's understanding. It's being in an area of I get why you're doing what you're doing. I don't have to agree with it.
And by agree with it, you mean see it as the right thing to do, the correct thing to do.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a question for like everyone then. Like if we see the purge and they make it somehow by law, it becomes legal to kill somebody. In your heart of hearts, are you going to be like, that's a good thing to do? or that's an
I
all
don't
right thing to do because from the law's perspective, you have a green light to go ahead and do that, and no bad repercussions are going to happen to
I
you,
don't remember why they did it. Why do you remember why they were allowed to do that?
regardless of like what reason. Like that doesn't change the act of what you're doing.
Well, I'm just thinking like, okay, so if
And no, I
somebody
don't. To answer your question, I don't
comes
know why they made it legal.
okay, so if somebody comes to your door and they're
Yeah.
busting in your house, like, will you kill to protect?
Yeah, I guess I have to in a way because like to me, I'm seeing
But
like,
killing is wrong, Victor.
yeah, no, I totally get it. So yeah, maybe I just have to
Nuance,
go ahead to die.
nuance,
Yeah,
nuance.
but that
That's
doesn't.
literally complex situations. Killing is bad, but now you're put in a position to kill to protect. That's why gray is there. That's why gray matters. Because if
So
I
my
sit here
heart
and
of
say
heart
I
is telling
killed a
my heart of
man,
heart is telling me then that I should just say F it and you go ahead and do what you got to do, and I'm not gonna blemish myself because of that. That's what my heart of heart is telling me to
and
do.
that's and
I'm saying
I
no,
think
F it. Go ahead and kill me. We'll see what happens
yeah,
after this because I'm
yeah,
gonna let
like
the glory of God do its thing.
okay,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
understand that, but you're a father, right? You have kids and da 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 da. Like I mean, I don't know what it's like to be a parent, but like I think it'd be really hard to not protect my own, right?
Mm,
Like I think I don't know. I haven't lived that life, but if because I don't think killing's good. And if it was a purge, I wouldn't go out and start killing. But if somebody comes into my house and starts to try to hurt my people, I'm gonna hurt them. Now, am I gonna be happy with myself that I killed people? No. But
mm.
if I had to do it in order to protect my kids and my wife, or yeah, I guess because yeah, my wife and my kids, I'm gonna do it. That will never make me agree with killing is right, though. It'll never make me agree with killing's right. But it makes me understand why someone may kill people
Mm.
because it's a complex situation.
That's a really great point. The This is how then I would have to rationalize it, which is unfortunate. But like you're saying, like killing is not good at all. But see, this is where it's like, so I have three things, which is number one, like I see you as the nose to my face. And it's like, so if my nose had cancer, then I'd have to cut it off in order to continue living. You know what I mean? Like, why would I go down with the nose or with the ship in that instance? And that, does that make sense?
Mhm.
Because I see us as one. And so then that would essentially be me killing myself. And I'm not okay with that. I'm not all right with that. And then number two would be like, then you're essentially forcing my hand. And so, I mean, so what? What is the point then of anybody following this religion of Christianity then if you're not going to do what Jesus does and go put up your cross and walk up the hill?
Okay, but
So,
think about it, Victor.
so nobody really cares about this stuff.
You don't think God forgives us of our sins? Have you ever told a lie before?
Come on, what are we doing?
I'm just saying it's a sin. A sin is a sin. A sin is a sin. That's what it
Mm-hmm.
is. So killing someone versus me telling a lie, those are both sins. And God died, or Jesus died, so we can have our sins forgiven if we ask God to forgive us and we repent. God knows your heart. So if you're being malicious and you're like, man, screw all these people, I'm out here today to freaking kill. God knows your heart. God knows your heart when they bust down the door and I have to protect my loves of my life, my children and my wife. God knows your heart. God knows you're not malicious with it. Now, if you shoot them in the head and then you're like punching them because of your anger or something and you're aggressive and like going at him more than necessary, God will know your heart and he'll know like this is coming from not a place of protection. This is coming out of a place of anger or hate or something like that. Like I understand you wanting to stick to your morals and like the principles of like right is not killing and wrong is killing.
Hmm.
But if you do believe in a God and that your sins are forgiven, like God knows your heart. God knows your heart. So I just I God would never like I just do not think God would because God understands. God knows all. So it's like if God knew your heart and he was like that man was just trying to protect his children and give them another day on earth and his wife, I don't think God would tell you to get off to go to hell, you know? Cuz like a sin is a sin and you've told lies before and God still lets you stay here and have another chance to redeem yourself.
The other thing that I would think about is like, when is that cycle gonna end then? Or I think about that Pokemon movie with Pikachu and they're attacking the clones and stuff, and then Pikachu just says, "No, I'm just laying down my sword. I'm not gonna keep electrifying my clone," and and then it all stops.
Okay, so I think like we said earlier, like I kind of like total I see where you're coming from. Like you got your morals. Like I wouldn't want to kill someone either. It'd be really hard for me to kill someone. I'm not going to lie. But like not meeting them where they're at, right? So somebody's meeting you with violence and you're like I'm not choosing violence. I'm choosing to turn the other
Yeah,
cheek,
yeah,
right?
I'm not.
So this
Yep.
is
Hmm.
so for me, if it's a
Yep.
one-on-one situation, I'm
Go
letting them
ahead.
kill me. I'm letting
Hmm.
them kill me. But if I have other people to protect that rely on me, they have to get past me and I'm fighting for them. That's the same thing as like how I would say like looking out for someone. Like, yeah, this is more the physical version rather than just looking out for Katie. Like, Victor, don't cuss at her like that. That's not right. Like, I'm gonna look out for her and call you out. So, like, when this person invades my home, I'm looking out for my daughter and my son and my wife. Like, I'm fighting for them. But if it's a one-on-one interaction, yeah, kill me. Like, I just I think people are really shocked with that, but, like, I'm not gonna fight back. Like, I just feel like, okay, if I was meant to get killed like this, then I guess I get killed. Like, because I don't wanna kill someone. Like, yeah, but I'll defend. Like, if my job is to be the
Yeah, but you're not defending all the time. Then you're saying that you're not willing to defend
like,
if it's a
that's
one
where
on
I'm saying,
one.
like,
But
there's
like,
nuance in it. Like, if I was a father and I had a family, I become the defender. If I'm not a father and I'm just a random man in a house, kill me.
I mean, I guess that if you're talking about nuance, then I would take up my family and we're running. That's what we're doing. So there, I
Yeah,
don't have to kill anybody.
but, like
Boom,
But,
got
like,
outdone.
that's not what the situation is. It's this person's, like, coming in your house and trying to kill you. Like, it's not like little kids aren't gonna just follow orders like that. Like,
What do you mean? I'm saying the house is on fire. We gotta get out of here, y'all. And we bust out the window.
but I just told you it, like, someone's banging on your door trying to come in your house and, like, let's say they get in and they have a gun or they have a knife or they have some type of weapon, like, how are you rounding up your family and leaving? Like, they're trying to kill you.
Box them out. Say no, no, don't come over this way, and then
Yeah, you
they go
got
ahead
your
and
head
leave.
chopped. You got your head chopped off then. But
All
like
right. Well,
even
then there was
giving
nothing I
but
could
like
do to begin with.
but no, like even giving yourself up so they could get away. Like say you're fighting this man, right? To protect like cuz it's either I do nothing, like how you said just
Hmm.
kill me, then everyone dies. But if you were to be like I'm a protector and I'm here to try to get this guy away, like I'll fight for everything so my family and kids can get away, like I feel like you would do that, right?
That is just such a horrible situation.
Bro, you brought up the purge.
That is such a
It
horrible
is a horrible
situation.
situation. But like don't you think that you are a protector?
There's got to be another way.
Why aren't you just answering? Like, this is the situation I put you in.
Oh, so you back me into a corner like an animal.
No, I gave you options, actually.
What are the
You
options?
can do nothing, let this guy just bust in and kill the family, everybody, because you're
Like,
like,
blah,
I
blah,
have
blah.
morals, I don't kill. Or you could just be like, Katie, get the kids, go, I'll fight them off. And you die fighting. Or for some reason you got a cool sword or something, you're like, oh, this home's gonna die today, and you are like, I got this. Get in the car, I'll be back. Slice them up, go. Like, there's options here. And the
So you're
first
saying
one, the
then,
one
like,
that you said, I think that's wild.
what's the first one I said? Get out of the house.
No, the first one was like, I would just let him kill me.
Yeah, but then you agreed with that. You were just like, yeah, go ahead.
I
Like,
said
for
on a
instance,
one on one.
yeah, okay, yeah.
You have a family. I don't. I don't got nothing. Who am I? Who
You
am
just
I
said though
guarding?
you got your parents there, and so somebody busts in, you're gonna kill the guy or the
No, my
person.
dad. My dad.
Oh, okay, Dad,
He's
go get
like,
him.
when it comes to, for real though, like my dad's not gonna shy away from that. I guarantee my dad's not gonna be like, Sophia, get him. My dad's gonna my dad's gonna go first. Not definitely not my mom. I don't know what my mom would do, but like I feel like as a father, mother, daughter situation, my dad's never gonna be like, Sophia, you got him.
That's so
Like in
interesting.
your
It's like,
situation, I
out.
can't imagine you're like, Theo, get him, Theo. And I don't imagine you'd be like, Katie, get it. I feel like your role would be like, babe, I got you.
Yeah, box him out, go the other way. She gave you options. Box him out, go the other way.
Yeah, like you could literally, like maybe you do get killed, but at least you tried. Like fighting him off for your family, like you wouldn't do that. Dang, Katie, you better run, girl. You better run, girl. This guy's gonna get y'all killed. Gonna get y'all killed. Woo. Are you sitting and staring, or are you actually thinking?
No, I'm actually thinking it's like it's almost like I just feel like I'm getting baited into like wanting like you wanting me to tarnish like my soul and stuff. That's how it
I'm
feels.
baiting you, brother. I'm putting you in a situation to where I would really wonder what you would do, because you need to understand the complexities. So, like, if I met a
Mm.
person and they just like say a random fact about you and they're like, I've killed a man, would you
Mm.
like look, how would you look at that person? You're like, oh, you're a freaking murderer. You're like, you're a criminal.
So I
But his
mean, let me
situation,
ask you
his
like
situation could
can
have
we
been,
dial it to another situation where it's stealing? So at what
sure.
point do you feel yourself stealing then? Like at what point are you
Never.
gonna
I
be
don't
like
steal.
stealing is
It's
okay?
morally it's wrong, Victor. There's like that's the thing. Nuance, you don't, like I said, understanding does
Yeah,
not
because
mean you have to
you're saying
agree.
basically like obviously I'm not God, but some people get the God complex and they start to think like I heard like Ryan the boxer guy went on Logan Paul and stuff and was like I'm God and he's like tweaking and tripping out. And that's why I was going back to like yes, God is us but we're not God. So you're saying, you know, like since I'm not God then I'm able to do these harmful acts. And
I'm not saying any of that.
okay, so
I'm saying you literally have free will.
yes, I understand that.
Yeah, I'm not even bringing like, I don't have to, like, you're human, you have free will, you have morals and values. Now, to just sit and understand why someone may steal does not mean you agree with it. Now, let's say there's a kid who grew up in the projects, broke as hell, single mom, five brothers and sisters. They don't have anything. He's freaking starving. He's a 13-year-old boy and he goes to the grocery store and he steals a sandwich. Is that right? No, it's not right. Stealing is always wrong, but I understand why he did it. And that's all the world needs, is like the middle ground of like, yeah, dude, that's not right. That's not right. It's not right. But I know why he did it. And I'm not going to
Mm.
hate him for it. I'm not going to say like you're a terrible person or like you should be locked up. It's like I hate that you were even in a situation like that. And if I can help you to where you never have
Mm,
to be in another one like that, I'll do my best. But I get why you did it. Know that you can get caught for it. Know that you can like ruin your life for that. Like know those things, know the consequences. But like I know why you did it. I don't
mhm,
agree, but I understand.
mm. And then Tracy says, nor does it make you superior for not stealing.
No, not at all. Like I'm lucky to be in a position to where I don't even have to think about stealing. Where there's people who grow up and like that's it's weird. I actually met this person. He was like a friend of a friend and we were farther up ahead. We were like going to like some concert thing, like a festival, and he was talking to me just telling me about him, and it was the first time I ever heard someone like consider stealing like growing up as a normal thing. Like the way he spoke about it, like that was his normal because he didn't come from money. He didn't have food and things that are um usually should be normal things in a household. He didn't have that. And so he'd steal. And to him, that was normal. Now, I don't know what his morals were about it, whether he thought it was right or wrong. But to me, I'm like, yeah, that's not right. But I totally understood why he did it. But I didn't look at him as a bad person. It's just like, I can see why he had to do what he had to do.
Mm,
And like, if I so like with that mindset, if I continue to see the world in that way, I think I can be more welcoming for people and safer for people rather than being like, dude, you know stealing's wrong. You should have never done that. Like I'm becoming unsafe when I look at it in the extremes of like right and wrong. If I'm like, you knew better. Like you should have still did something else. Like you didn't have to steal. Like if I would have came at him and said things like that, he would have felt attacked. He wouldn't have felt safe. He wouldn't have continued to share. He wouldn't have continued to open up. Cause like, yeah, again, I believe it is wrong. That is my moral stance, right? But I don't have to enforce that. I can just say like, I understand where you're coming from.
that is a slippery slope because I could feel like, hey, these top one percenters have 99% of the wealth. So they're clearly not doing 99% of the work. So I might as well go steal and take it from them.
Yeah, but that to me doesn't even sound like a good reason. Like you're just being spiteful. Like this person was struggling. Like like is your situation struggling? Because you didn't put that part. Like you're just like, there's rich people and I'm not them, so I should just take from them. Because like if that's the case, like that just sounds like somebody who's like wanting to steal from people who have a lot of money because they don't have money. Like to me, that
I'm okay. I'm talking about the Robin Hood example then. Do you think
I don't
Robin
know
Hood's a
about him.
good,
I don't.
okay,
What did Robin Hood do?
steals from the rich and gives to the poor?
No, that's no.
So how do you feel about,
Because there's good people who are rich. There could be rich people who literally donate money every single day, volunteer their time to help. So just because they had a lot of money and did it the right way, they didn't step on people's toes. They pay their taxes. They pay their workers. Like if they're doing things that are not in abusive ways or stealing or scamming, just because they have a lot of money, I do not think it's right for somebody to steal from them to give to the poor.
let's see. I hear you. Tracy says it's easy to judge from a perspective of I wouldn't do that. We should teach each other to ask why did you do that, and then have the safe combo of after of different perspectives. Different doesn't always feel safe for others.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's the why. It's the why. And I think people because we do live in a society where a lot of people don't feel like they're safe because a lot of people tend to be in survival mode. So, like, rather people being like, trying to understand and being like, well, why would you do that? Some people are like, well, I would have never done that. I would have gone to a food shelter. I would have tried to pick up pennies in the street. It's like, but you're not them and you will never be them. You can be similar, you could be close to those situations, but you will never literally be that human being. So, like, when people do that, "I woulda did this, I" like that, I find that really annoying because it's not even helpful. It's like, well, you it didn't happen to you, it happened to me, and that's what I did, and I'm just trying to talk to you about it, and I'm telling you why I did it, and you're like, you can't understand that? Like, I think it's just, like, trying to have that understanding, and again, you don't
Yeah, I'm
have to
not trying to
agree.
judge anybody out, and I would say that like given if I were in someone's situation and we were to switch lives and we had like those same situations or whatever, then there's no telling that I wouldn't come out the exact same way that you did. Does that make sense?
So if you're in the same situation as that poor kid who had to steal, like, you're saying that it would have been the same way, like, you probably would have done the same.
Right. If I had
Okay.
grown up in those same circumstances, then those decisions are most likely the same ones that I would make.
Yeah,
But
I
I
think
guess
that's
I'm just bringing it
accurate.
back to the same thing of oneness or whatever. But I just don't feel like that has to be this outcome. Like my gut's telling me that these things are avoidable.
Yeah, but you have to understand that that is the outcome. Like, yeah, sure, it can be avoidable, and not all people, again, black and white, not all people that come from poverty are gonna steal. Not all people who
Mm.
struggle are going to do that. Like, they're just not. But I will say, the ones that do it, I can understand why they did it. Like, I understand.
Yeah, I get that we understand. Yeah. I guess what I'm just trying to say that even though we understand that there's still an absolute right and absolute wrong. And is that all right to say, or
Well,
what do you
I
say?
wouldn't. Okay, so like back with the
The
killing
killing.
thing though, like
Hmm.
if
Yeah.
someone kills for defending, like,
Yeah.
because isn't this like actual like law or whatever? Like,
Right.
that's not looked at
Yeah.
as
You're saying
wrong.
like
Like,
defense is, yeah, self-preservation, defense is a
but
good thing.
if you say like someone
But I
killed
can see
someone, like
that.
if that
I can agree.
statement,
Yeah. Yeah. I can agree with that. Like defense is a good thing. Like I would say defending is a good thing. And that doesn't count as
yeah, so
retaliation, right?
yeah, like not like someone poked you and then you killed them dead. Like, yeah, that's like freaking crazy. Like, no, but if like someone's literally trying to cause you harm and you're defending yourself and you happen to kill them, like,
Hmm.
yeah, I'm a killer, but like, please listen to my story. Please understand why I did what I did. And then you'd
Mm.
probably look at me different because you're like, oh, she didn't just like actually just go and kill her ex-boyfriend. Like, I
Yeah,
was
but
protecting
can we
myself.
dial this down then and couldn't we say then like if I'm gonna call you a name and then you could say in defense you called me a name back. So where does that get us? That's what see this is what I'm getting at. It doesn't make you in the right.
I never would think that, but that's literally the thing of going lower. Like I said, I don't go lower, but I think society goes lower. Like society is very much in this
But
realm of
you're
like,
saying with the killing though, it's okay to go low because that person came in to kill you, so you killed the person.
yeah, I would say that is okay.
Okay, so
If
then what then
somebody's
in the
trying to
same breath
literally
then you're
harm
saying though
you,
it's okay to insult me because I've insulted
no,
you.
because this is life or death. Like if I am in a situation where someone's going to take my life and I don't want to be dead, and I'm just defending myself and somehow I like grab their knife and I'm like moving and I slice them like out of fear and panic. I'm just like frantic and they die like I was defending myself. Like I would never like it's intention. I'm not trying to cause harm. When I call you a B word after you call me one, I'm trying
Okay,
to
here,
cause
let me
harm.
back it up another step then. Or we can go forward but back it up from the killing, which is
Forward, back it up.
which is somebody tries to steal from you. And you go, you know what, I'm stealing from you. Boom. Grabbed your stuff. But again, you're gonna say what? It's life or death versus that. But then I can be like,
No.
all right, where are you gonna go with that?
If it's life or death, why am I trying to steal from you? I should be trying to protect myself. I shouldn't be like, you're stealing from me, let me steal from you. Because to me, that seems like if you're so scared about somebody harming you, why are you trying to get possessions? To me, that sounds like the
What?
tit for tat.
Hang on, let me. Okay, I hear you. For example, Tracy also says, for example, kids that went to Beaver Creek schools compared to DPS schools. What is DPS? DPS schools experiences are different. It doesn't make those experiences wrong. We must lead with grace. Yeah, I agree
Those
that it
schools
doesn't make
must
those
be like
experiences.
poorer schools or something.
And then life or death versus hurt feelings different.
100%. Because I only get like this is my body. Someone's literally trying to harm my physical body. Like insults can hurt, yes, but like I can recover. I'm not gonna recover from getting dead.
Mm, that's not necessarily true. Like
Okay, unless I'm
if I were to
Jesus and
tell
I
you
read.
to, no, if I were to tell you to go kill yourself and you go kill yourself, then that counts as my murder. So words like,
But it
it
doesn't
doesn't have to
always
be
count
like,
as your murder though. Because sometimes I think those people get off. Like not off by someone killing themselves, but like they don't get charged all the time. Like I
wow,
think there are situations where they
what a
don't.
crazy world. What a wild world. I mean, there's no telling what I would do. Like somebody does, you give me that situation, you give me.
Like, okay, do you
There's
remember
no
when I
telling.
mentioned that guy grabbing my neck
Yes, yeah, and I was, yeah. Why didn't? Yep,
and I
yep, I
did
do.
nothing?
Where are you going with it? Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I feel like you said something like you could have like pushed him off or you said something that was physical.
Run
Or
the
like why
tapes.
didn't you what? Yeah, it was I can't remember what it was, but it was something
Dayton Public Schools.
that was like out of my character to do. And
Mm.
I reacted how I reacted. But society is like, dude, you could have slapped him in the face. Dude, you could have freaking stiff armed him. Dude, you could have, like, I could have, right? Because it's defending myself. But I didn't, because I genuinely do not like hurting people like that. I don't. Like, yeah, I used to fight, but I'm signing a contract. It's a sport. It's
Mm.
regulated. We both agree to fight each other. This guy put hands on me. I didn't agree to that.
Right. So what do you do?
So
You
like
walk away.
that's where I could have, but I
Mm-hmm.
didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So like yeah, for sure. I think you could think like for me, I'm like, okay, if I had to protect my family, I'd kill. But like what if there's a chance I might not be able to? Because it comes down to like my moral like I might not be able to pull a trigger. You know what I'm saying? Like it might actually be harder than I think because of my moral standard. Even though I'm like I need to protect, it
Wait, you're
might be
talking about
very
the
hard.
where the person breaks in and you had a gun, you're not what?
Where I'm just saying, like, to defend myself. Like, as much
Mm.
as I may think, "Oh, I'd be defensive," or, "Oh, I'd protect my family," like, when it really comes down to it, I can't even guarantee that I could follow through.
On a different thing, do you think religion then is a way of keeping us in place? Because like you know how we say nothing is guaranteed, like we take that as fact. Do you take that as fact? Like you're not guaranteed another breath. You're not guaranteed that tomorrow you don't get cancer, things like that.
Yeah,
Like as
I guess.
and so I'm not even guaranteed another day of life on this planet, but here is this far-fetched afterlife where I'm getting promised this when nothing is promised. Is that an obedience
Okay,
trick?
But no, I don't think it says that in the Bible. Like, I mean, I don't know what your actual beliefs are, but like I believe in like what's in the Bible, and I don't think there's a part in there that says nothing is promised. Because like God keeps his promises. Like that's how the Bible speaks, and
Right,
that's
but
what
how do
I
you know what
follow.
God is promising you?
Because of the word. If you read the word and what he says, the afterlife, if you love God and you believe in God and you repent and you do what he's saying and you love him and you love your neighbor, then yeah, I believe that's there's an afterlife. Again, it's a religion, it's a faith. It doesn't if it's factual, if it's guaranteed, like if it's 100% certain, like it's not the faith. But
And
it's my choice to
so,
believe. It's my choice to believe that he does keep his promises.
do you think that you're being sold a false bill of goods?
No. Otherwise I
So,
wouldn't be
and so,
believing.
how can you say that this religion, this Christianity religion, is the one true way when you haven't even read the Quran and you haven't read any of the other Bibles?
Because it's my faith, it's my belief, it's what my heart is saying, it's what God has put in my heart. How's that not enough? Like, I
Okay,
don't have to know
so
all the
yeah,
other sides to know that he's the truth. Like, if I have this connection and relationship with him and I
and it doesn't smell fishy to you that you keep saying he
understand,
and him.
yeah, okay, I'm sorry I do that. But again, I read the Bible and he in there. And I said I follow the Bible.
And so the Bible doesn't have any math in it, but it has all the answers but math.
Well, it's not a math book.
Book is it? If it's a
The
way of
Bible.
life, a book of life, then
Maybe you should
as part
read
of
it.
life we have
Do you
math.
read it? Do you read it?
Yeah, I've read
Out of
some parts of it,
curiosity.
and where
Maybe
it
you
says
should read
that,
more.
greed is, I mean, there's already some things that you can point out and say that's not true. So to just accept it fully as all true, that doesn't make sense when clearly the root of all evil is not money, because at one point there wasn't
No,
money and
we
there was
talked
still
about this
evil at
before,
times.
and that's not how it was phrasing it, and you were phrasing it
Okay,
wrong.
it
I
says that the root of evil is the love of money. So what other roots do we even care about when we're talking about evil and trying to get rid of that or looking to get rid of that? For the root of evil is the love of money.
For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
The
One
Bible
at one
doesn't
time there
say
was
money
not money.
itself. The Bible doesn't say money itself is evil, but that the excessive love of it can lead to evil actions. So
Okay.
it says the danger is the verse is warning that a desire to get rich can lead to temptation, harmful desires, and ultimately ruin destruction. That's what it's trying to say. I feel like you would agree with that.
I would agree with what?
That that actual for the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil. Like roots, you know how there's multiple? So it's saying it's a root, it's one of a root. So it's one of these. The love of money could be that leads to all different types of evil when you love money. But there's still other roots. It's not saying that this is the only root in a plant that leads to evil. It's not saying that loving money is the only root of evils. It's saying that it's
Mhm.
one of the roots. I agree with that. I feel like you also agree with that.
I think that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, I think there's just things like even myself that I misinterpreted and I had to read the Bible myself to get the knowledge because I think it's really easy for people to it's not on purpose either, I don't think, but to kind of change the wording of things to then interpret a different way. And then that's where things get a little confused and then that's where people are arguing when they should be on the same page.
Okay, so then here's
in
a
a faith.
contradiction that I think I see in your thinking, which is you agree that nothing is guaranteed, but I guess you're making an exception for the Bible to guarantee you afterlife for doing these things. Is that a clear way of saying it? It might not even be a contradiction. You're saying that the general
But I
rule,
still but I still don't guarantee it. I'm just faithful in it.
and so without reading any, you don't want to do any research, I guess, because your feeling is saying that this is accurate,
The
not
one true
exact.
God.
Yeah, your feeling is accurate but not exact. And so you're not wanting to read like the Quran, for instance.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to reading it. I just why like if I could read it or like maybe have someone read it to me, sure. But like that wouldn't change my belief. Like my
So what
belief is already because think about it. When I was struggling hard, I didn't pray to anyone other than like I was asking Jesus. And he's the son of God. And that was my belief in the moment. Like the belief that I went
okay,
to,
I
the
got
God
another
that I
question
went
then.
to,
Because you're saying that in the Bible it says that God gave his only begotten son, right?
I don't know. I guess I think yeah.
Okay. So then, but we're all children of God, right? So how could Jesus be the
Yeah.
only begotten son?
I don't know. I feel like these questions are things that you could literally look up and be like, I'm
Yeah, but
wrong.
I'm asking you.
But
How
I'm
come I
not
have
a
to, how come I gotta
theologist.
look it
Like,
up? I don't want to look it up on
because I'm
Google.
not
That's one source, but you're another source. So I'm asking you. You're
but
the one
I
that's saying
don't
that
know
you believe.
because I wouldn't sit here and confidently be like I'm a theologist, like I know all of the Bible. Like I even said I understand and think I would understand things wrong to where I had to go back and read the Bible to fully understand them. So like this one, I wouldn't tell you boom, it's this because I can't 100% say like yeah, I know this. So
Okay,
I'm not
but
going to give you
you agree that
misinformation.
it says that in the Bible
I don't
that
even
God
know what
gave
begotten means. So like I don't even what is a begotten?
the one and only, like that's it, that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
I didn't even know the word is. Like I've heard it, obviously I've heard that, but like yeah, I would just if that's my question, then I would try to be like, okay, what is the Bible actually trying to say? Like what is the understanding? How would this be broken down? Like as much as I'm literal, I can still understand that some of these things don't always they're not always literal. Like there was like a part about like you can't sleep in the bed if you're a bleeding woman. Like, oh, so a girl on her period. Like, I can't remember exactly, so don't freaking quote me. But like, a part in the Bible where it's like when you're a bleeding woman, like you can't be around men. And I was like, what the heck? So if I just read that without like trying to understand and interpret it, I'd be like, well, why are women in bed with their man if they're bleeding on their period? But like, I'm pretty sure like in that part of the Bible, like that part of the Bible was like of that time
Yeah,
and it's
so
of
for
no
me then
more.
it feels like you're trying to fit a circle into a round peg, or I mean a peg into a round square or whatever. Like you're trying to make it work.
Well, if that's how you feel, I can't tell you any different.
I mean, is that accurate or no? Do you not feel like you're doing that right now?
No, I don't feel that way at all.
Okay, but you're
Like,
waiting
I just feel
for
like it's
something to
hard
come to
to.
you about the bleeding woman on the
No,
bed.
I feel like it's really hard for somebody to, like, go against the Bible when they themselves don't read the Bible. Like, I would never go against the Quran if I
Have
don't
you
read
read
the
the Bible
Quran.
front to back?
No, but I'm in the process of
Okay,
that.
so then we're in the same boat, and I'm asking
But
you,
I
cuz
feel
what's
like
up
you
with this?
actually don't, like, read it because you keep quoting it, and, like, some of the things you say are, like, not accurate like because we've talked about things in the Bible before
What
and
haven't I
I'd
said
have
that
to
it's
be like
not
no it
accurate?
actually means this because I had finally learned like what some things had meant and so I just like wonder how much you actually read of it because then I think you'd have more understanding of it and you wouldn't be like you're trying to fit a square into a circle or vice versa.
Yeah, because you're just saying you read something about a bleeding woman not being able to be in bed, and you're
Yeah,
like
because I
waiting
didn't
on the correct
because if
interpretation to
you
come to
pull
you.
because if you pull things, like if I just open a Bible and I read this one part and I don't have context, full context or understanding of whether it's the New Testament or the Old Testament, like, yeah, things can get misconstrued, things can get confused. And so that was what it was. It's the part of the Bible that's like we don't follow. Like it's not our time. So whether you pull from here or pull from there, it's like sometimes we might need more context.
No, I haven't read it front to back, but that also means that just because I haven't read every math book in the world, that I don't get to speak about math, right?
Yeah, but I also feel like those are the people who are like, "Oh, I don't vote, but let me talk about politics all day long and complain." Like you have to have still some understanding of it, right? And I feel like really I don't know how much understanding you do cuz you separate God, like you make him
Yeah, because
into
we just got done talking about like how God is Jesus, but Jesus isn't God. And then you just say like you're like, yeah, that's correct.
yeah, I said there's different like you're a son, a father, and a
And
brother.
then you just went
And
to saying that like you pray to Jesus,
like I feel
but
like you don't
but
believe in the I feel like you don't believe in like the Trinity though. Like I feel like you've said that.
I do believe in the Trinity. I just said I do, that they're
So
one
then
but
why do you
separate things.
but so saying they're separate, like I guess my understanding is separate is that they're not. Like they're one. They have different parts. Like this is my arm, this is my other arm. Like I have different parts, but I'm one. Like
Yeah, okay, so
it's
this is what I'm saying.
one.
Yeah, okay, so you're saying though that we're gonna use another analogy, all right? We're all waves in the ocean. And I feel like when you say that I'm praying to Jesus, you're praying to one wave instead of the ocean. Does that make sense? Because you just said you were praying to Jesus. And I'm trying to like fine tune this to either you're praying to God or you're praying to Jesus because God is the
He's
ocean and Jesus
one,
is the wave.
but he's one.
Okay,
So
so
he's
like it's
God.
like you could pray to Victor Hall then because I'm a wave in the ocean.
But you're not Jesus. Like when you say they're separate, you're actually saying they're separate. Like, yeah, you're saying they're different parts, they're separate parts. Like that's how you're saying it. But then
What?
you don't believe in the Trinity because they're one.
Yes, the wave is connected to the ocean, but the wave is not the ocean type of thing. Well, there's nothing wrong with stretching.
What?
I'm reading this comment. Something about saying that's a stretch.
The ocean?
I guess so, yeah. There's nothing wrong with being flexible.
I
So
just feel like if
my whole
somebody
thing was about like making this the utopia here and stop like and I'm like over the fact about thinking about an afterlife and that ideal of that.
um you're over the thought of the afterlife?
No, to yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm not trying to think about the afterlife. I'm trying to think about right here and right now. So if that's like a tactic to get people to not think about being present or whatever that is, and or an obedience trick because not everything is lining up for me in that book. And yeah, my history is that I have read that book, uh, different stories within the Bible, because that's what it is, a bunch of different stories. And I think there is a moral to it, and I think that there is something to glean from it, but to just that's where I can pretty much leave it at. And it's like the Ten Commandments could have just been boiled down to love one another.
Well, that is the greatest well, the that's like
It's not a
so there's
commandment.
like they say okay, there's a part. I was just reading it. I think it was in Matthew. The greatest commandment is to like love God above all and then to love your neighbors as yourself. That's how it's phrased. commandment.
Is to what? Love God above everything else and then love your neighbor.
And then, yeah.
And I think another thing about like we shouldn't hate each other or whatever it is because like I didn't put myself here, you didn't put myself here. So the one thing then you should be thinking about a high like a whatever did put us here, that's what honestly should be what we both rally around. And how we were talking before about how the enemy of my enemy is my friend type of idea, which is like to say it another way without saying the enemy of my enemy is to say the enemy of my foe is my friend, is to say that that enemy of all of us is lies, is lying, or hate is hate. That's the number one thing. Definition of hate would be then the opposite of love, and to rally around that. Is
Yeah,
that a
that's
fair
fine. I
assessment?
mean, okay, so I was reading the Bible because, like I just said, I just read that in Matthew. So it says in the New Testament, when asked which commandment in the law was the greatest, Jesus provided these two principles which encapsulate the entire law. And it says, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind." And the second is like it, "You shall love your neighbor as yourself." So you were just saying, like, love above all. Like, that's just what the commandments should be. So, like, reading the Bible, I know there are the 10 commandments, but it also says, like, that is one of the
So then
commandments that
going back to like
Jesus.
your killing example, if somebody came in here and tried to kill me, then if I were to love myself as my neighbor, then if I were to commit that act on somebody else and go into their house, then I would want them to talk me down from doing that. So I guess that's the approach that I would take.
Wait, now you're in someone's house killing them?
Based on what
Oh
you're
no, they
saying,
came in your house, you're trying to talk them down.
yes.
Yeah, that's fawning.
What, I
Fight,
don't know what that
flight,
means. You're calling me
freeze,
Bambi.
fawn. Fight, flight, freeze, fawn. We've
Now
talked about
there's
these
four
before.
F's.
There's always been.
When I only heard about
Yeah,
two,
a
then I
lot of
heard
people
about three,
aren't.
and now I
A
hear
lot
about
of people
four.
don't know about them. People only use
What? Okay, what is
fight and
fawning?
flight.
What is fawning?
Fawning is literally talking them down. Like it could be doing whatever you possibly can to get them to not hurt you. Like if somebody is in the bank, like if I'm a teller in a bank and they come in and they're like, "Give me all your money." And so rather you following the orders of like your work regulated plan when someone robs, you're like, "Okay, I'll do everything you need me to do. Like I'll do it. I'll like." But you're still planning to get them to not rob you like secretly, but you're like fawning to get there. So like in a way you're going along with it or being nice to them or whatever to like get them to not do that crime. Like I don't know if that explanation was that great, but like yeah, it's just like trying to not have the harm happen. Doing whatever you can to not have the harm happen.
Right. Yep.
But it doesn't always work.
Yeah, for sure. Because nothing is 100%.
Yeah, but that one's probably like really on the low, 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 the low, low, low.
Yeah, really unlikely. Sure.
Yeah. But it's a so like
It's
with
like
me
the
saying
third eye
like
blind situation. I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend.
there you go. But like, I mean, with me even saying like, what if I want like my thought now is I'll defend my family, but like I said, I might not be able to actually pull a trigger.
Hmm.
It's like that's my it could be I fight, I freeze, I fawn, or I fight, flight, freeze, fawn. Yeah. So like it's what I don't know what my real reaction will be until it
Hmm.
happens. But my
Hmm.
plan could be pull the trigger, Sophia. But really, I might be like, okay, I'll give you everything you want. Like I'll give you money. I'll feed you. I'll like whatever I can. You know,
Right. Because I'd be like, killing me is not going to make your situation any better. You're not going to
you
get what you want
literally,
from this situation.
yeah. Like you could be like you'll have to live with this for the rest of your life. I have a
Mhm.
family and like doing whatever you can to talk them out of it. Like be their friend. Be like yeah. And in our society, though, I think we're more so fight or flight. Like, because you even said, like, what's the, you're calling me a deer. What's a lot of people don't know about that. Like, usually people are like, I'm fighting or I'm flying. Like
Yeah.
you said, I'm
Yeah. We
taking
don't
my
have
family
to.
out
Yeah.
running or I'm
Right.
fighting. People
Yeah.
don't think about these other things. Because
Yeah.
some people might be like,
Yeah, for
Shot
sure.
shot dead. And then some people be like, please, please, like I'll do anything, please, please. Like,
Yeah, that's a good stuff right there. So
yeah, well, I fawned and it didn't get me anywhere, so I definitely know it doesn't really work. Just saying.
this is a tough question. Where do you I don't even know if I want to go there. Do you take any like when you look back on that situation, is there something that you could have done different? Is there like, you know what I mean? Is there any kind of
No, I literally look back and I'm like, I did the best I could with what I knew. But I will say, if I ever went back now, it would have never happened because of the knowledge that I have now. So, like, yeah, I learned a lot. But yeah, it's like if I knew what I knew then, right? If I only knew what I knew, if I only knew what I
yeah,
know
you said it,
now.
man. Mhm.
Yeah. But I didn't know very much at all, like clearly. And like that's where I think it sucks with like people not having understanding and being like, well, I would have done this. Like I would
Mhm.
it's like, well, you're not me and it didn't happen to you. So like none of that ever was helpful for me. Like I'm just like I wish I was maybe violent in that situation, but like I'm not a violent person. So did violence ever come out of me? No, fawning came out of me. And like that was the best I could do because that's all I knew and that's how I was reacting. So it was just like, why would I be mad at myself for that? Like that was my like that's my normal
Mm.
response. Now I will say though, if in my head
Yeah, do
I
you take
had a
any
thought,
culpability for that? Yeah.
no, I'm saying like if I had ever thought in my head when it was happening, like get up and run, then I would have been mad at myself because then I
Mm.
wouldn't have listened to myself. But I never had a thought of like getting up and running or
So what do you think it
screaming.
was then that was like not, how come the instincts weren't in tune? Or
Because
could they
I'm
have been in
literally in
tune that
shock. Dude, I never felt so shocked in my life. Like,
at what point? At what point? When it dawned on you or what?
no, when it was happening, like, I felt stiff, intense, and like in disbelief. Like,
But didn't it
you,
happen multiple times?
well, this is what starts it and what keeps you in that survival mode. Like, it started the engine of surviving. So I stayed in that, and like literally, you could my whole body fell apart. Like I was like this all the time. Like not kidding. And Christian would grab my shoulders and he's like, "You're so tense." I was like, "I'm always tense." And like that's not my normal. Like to be like this, like literally stiff like this, that's not normal. It's because I was like literally so tense and just like high like how do describe it? Like alert, high like alert that like my body couldn't I wasn't processing. Like I think when people like hear stories like that, in when you hear it, you're like you're able to think. You're able to be like, "Oh, this could have happened. You could have said this." Dude, my brain's not doing that. Like I kid you not. It's just like
So I don't, so two things I guess is like if you could boil it down, what would you tell people that are in that situation? And then number two, like kind of as a segue, what do you think about like the whole Epstein files? Like let's get some buzzwords in here.
I would just say it's not your fault. If you respond in fighting, breathing, lying, fawning, it's not your fault. Someone chose to harm you. Like that's what it
And
is.
would you say that fawning is next to the Stockholm syndrome where you try to appease your perpetrator?
Mhm.
Hmm.
In a way, not always. I wouldn't say always, but like in a way. Like you're doing whatever you can to not have this person harm you. So, like, say you know this person's violent and you know that they've hit you before and you don't want to get hit, you're like, okay, maybe I'll just follow these orders because if I don't, I might get hit. So, like, by following the orders, you don't get hit because getting hit is freaking worse. Like,
Do you think that yeah, that's a, okay, one karma is karma in the Bible. Do you think that do you believe in karma? What goes around comes around. Do you think that person will get their due justice? And then number two, you're talking about like the hitting and things like
but
that
still
because
the
we can
Epstein as
get hit.
well.
Yeah, I mean, if we can somehow circulate that in here, yeah.
Wait, then what's two? You said hitting and
Yeah, yeah. So like somebody invades or like civil war or like Hitler and the Jews like having to go to the Nazi, camps and like what would you do in that sense? Like something bad is happening in the state that you're in and these people start to
no,
round
you
up the
don't. You don't, though. That's what you have to understand. You don't think something bad's happening to you. And I know that sounds crazy, but like when I said I hated him, I didn't realize he's harming me. But if I would have listened to my feelings of why I had hate, it's because he was hurting me. But I wouldn't understand, like, I couldn't understand that because I'm like, I don't hate anybody. And then he's saying, like, I respect you. I would never hurt you. So it's like, it's again, this is a very complex thing. So, like, I understand if you don't understand it because it's very confusing. It took me a long time to understand it myself. But, like, as I'm speaking about it, yeah, I know what happened to me. But when it was happening, no, I didn't know that's what it was. So I'm not looking at it as harm. My body senses it. My body feels it. But I'm not logically understanding it.
this
But
is
my
a tough.
body is. Like, you know how trauma is stored in the body?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, okay, so trauma is stored in the body. And so, like, when things happen, like, that are, like, traumatic, your body may understand it first.
Can I go to the bath? Is it all right for me to go to the bathroom real quick? And we
For sure.
all right, let me do that. I'll be right back. I'll be back.
Mhm. Oh, I should. What is?
Because do you feel like I'm dogging you with those with those.
No,
Okay. All right. Cool. I'm gonna
no.
put yeah.
But I was just like, it's a weird. Obviously, I honestly, I would never be able to even explain this if it never happened to me. So like, all you have, like, I mean, you can read about it and learn about it, but I even don't think I wouldn't have the understanding that I do now. Like,
I have
for
really
somebody to
tough
say like
question. I
your
have tough
body
questions for you.
knows, but I'm just finishing like because you're like,
Okay.
how do you not know? It's like your body like can tell because like your body has feeling, it has senses, but like it's the shock where your mind like disconnects because you. I mean, for me, I dissociated, so like my my brain's not there, like it's out somewhere else, like to keep yourself safe, your brain just like disconnects. So like, yeah, sure, my body is aware of this person harming it, but my mind isn't. And I know that sounds crazy, but like it's literally like science.
Is all questions on the table?
Yeah, that's fine.
And you're willing to open this
I
up.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't care. Because
So
if it
how
helps you understand, because like I don't know what's gonna happen in your life, whatever. Like if you can have understanding, like you'll be a safe person for somebody who maybe has to talk to you about it.
so you you cheat on Christian, right? Yay or nay to that?
No, no.
All right. So this happens, you go to sparring sessions, things like that. This person becomes your trainer. So this person ever say like you have to come with me and we're gonna have these sexual acts.
No.
So how do you cross over that line of going from training sessions to then with this person in a intimate way, for lack of a term, whatever you might call it,
It's
lust or
called
something?
rape. It's called rape. When it's not
So
consent, it's
so
called rape.
how do you get from training camp to rape? How does that?
When somebody doesn't respect your boundaries. So like if I say I don't want to help you with something and they're like, "Okay, well, I need this at the gym." Like I need you to teach a lesson. I need you to teach classes, okay? And I'm like, okay, I'm making my lesson plan. Well, I need you to come over so I can go over it. And I say, well, I don't want to come over. And he's like, but I need to make sure I see it because you need to teach class. And I'm like, well, I don't want to. Like, why can't I just show you and go to the gym early? It's just going to be this back and forth until I do as I'm told because he's not saying come have interaction sexual. He's like, just come over. We'll go over what you're teaching. I'll help you put it together. So then now I'm there. I can't like I can't guarantee that I'm going to be touched, but there's time when I'm not touched. And when I'm not touched, it's when I believe it's never happening again. So like if this person's saying like it's just us going over a lesson plan, it's just us like making it or whatever, like I'm not going to touch you. I believe him because I don't think people are lying. Like if somebody's in my life who's like a person that's like I trust, I'm around, like I don't why would they be lying to me? Like it again, if I'm not lying, like why would I think they're lying? So I'd go over there, nothing would happen. So when people are like, "Well, why would you keep putting yourself in this situation?" It's because it wasn't happening all the time. So like the trust gets built again. And because it is traumatic, and said how I dissociate, when you dissociate to keep yourself safe, like your brain literally like has amnesia towards these traumatic events. So like as much as people may think like you knew this stuff was like it wasn't on my mind like that. Like I wasn't thinking like he used to touch me and like it's not processing like that. Like I'm literally like he's my coach, I'm a fighter, and like he hasn't touched me, like it's not sitting on my head like how you may think it's sitting on my head. Like I'm just like nothing's been happening, not like it could be months and he doesn't touch me. And then it's like, come over. We need to do a lesson plan. I go over and then something happens. And then it's again. Like if it was happening every single day and there weren't these breaks and it wasn't this like I'm never going to touch you and like this building of trust again, like I think things
Are you
could have
saying that you
been
weren't
different.
participating in like he was touching you, but you didn't touch him?
What do you mean?
So you're saying like you went over there, trained, and then he didn't touch you. But
Yeah,
like
like he wouldn't
during the
like I'm
times that
saying
he
like I
did
wouldn't
touch
be
you,
like raped or anything.
I mean,
Like
I
I'm
guess even
saying
like
touch
backing up,
you
it's
as
like
rape.
so like you felt like you weren't able to leave, or like you
It's not
didn't
that no. Remember how I said
false
my thought
imprisonment.
in my head was never let me run away, let me scream, like those I don't have thoughts in my head like that. It's just shock. It's just like what the heck is going on? Like it's like oh like you it's I guess I can't you might not understand it because you haven't experienced it and thankfully you haven't, but like you're not processing. Like if I'm talking to you, like you're hearing me, you're understanding, but when something is so shocking, like it doesn't, it's not how we're interacting right now. It doesn't process the same. It's a different processing format. And because you're dissociated, you're separated from your mental, that might not get processed for 7 years. Like there's some people who have sexual abuse in their childhood and they don't realize it until years later because they dissociated from it. Like those things happening to me weren't like I wasn't smiling la la la
So
yay. It
like
was like a
looking
shock.
back, looking back, do you say that you could have just said no on your phone and then just put the phone down and that would have been
No.
it or got a different
No,
coach?
because then I got punished in the gym. Like so when I would get punished in the gym, it's like, okay, I went to his house, nothing sexually happened to me. I didn't get punished in the gym. So like no. Like
And what do
my
you mean
first
punished in the
no.
gym? What do you mean
Like
punished in the
okay,
gym?
so like I'd literally get singled out. Like if everyone's doing something, it's like Sophia go run suicides. Sophia, like you're not working hard enough. I'm gonna give you an extra workout. I'm gonna do this, or like just even more ridiculed, or like more like fear of like being like having him put hands on me, like pushing me in my face, or like nudging my head into the ground. Like he literally scared me, and I feel like people might not have that understanding because it's like, well, how do you hang out with someone you're scared of? Because your brain never fully processed the why. Like was scared of this person and I would say I'm scared of him, but I never process why am I scared of him?
And I guess then my question is like after the training session, why would you just how is the thought not entering your head to not come back to this place?
Because I told you I'm in survival mode. I'm dissociated. I'm not like when you read and learn about trauma and the understanding of like being in survival mode, you're not even using part of your frontal cortex. Like it's off.
how do you define disassociation?
So it's literally like ooh, it's weird. It's like separating yourself from your body.
The out of body experience?
It's like yeah. It's like not being able to control yourself the way you would think you would. Like you're not there. Like things are just happening. Like you're not. It'd be like somebody controlling you and you not controlling yourself because you're like not in your own body to do so. Like out of you're out of it.
Is this a thing where masterminds do they get like just as harsh of a penalty as those that commit the act? Like if I was able to convince somebody to go, like we were talking about earlier, kill themselves or kill somebody else, like kill somebody else, because then they would be on court and they'd be like, this person put this ideal into my head. Is that what we're getting at?
No. I don't know. I don't know what you're I don't know. Like, I just feel like you should, like, read about dissociation because, like, the thing for me that was really weird was when I was finally coming to, like, coming to the realization of the trauma that had happened to me, I didn't feel real. And I know this sounds crazy, but, like, I was, like, going in and out of my body, and I was trying to tell my brother, I was like, "Have you ever felt this before?" This, like, feeling of, like, the way you know how deja vu feels? Like, how
Hmm.
it's a feeling? Like,
Hmm.
that's what it wasn't that feeling, but I would describe it as another really weird feeling with your body, to where you, like, don't think things are real, like, you don't it doesn't feel real, and I was, like, going in and out of that state, and so, like, yeah, like, I mean, that's not a normal thing for people, like, again, when I tried to tell my brother that, he's like, "No, I, like, don't know what you're talking about," so I feel like, yeah, like, it's not a normal situation because, like, when I talk to you, I'm not going in and out of my body. I'm in
So
my
like
body right now.
when like how do you hold yourself accountable then, or do you hold yourself accountable? Like
Yeah, I hold
how do I
myself
say it?
accountable. I was there, it happened to me. Like, I feel like people have this really weird thing about, like, well, you need to hold yourself accountable. Like, I will hold myself accountable to all the things that I've done to survive a situation.
And
Like, there's nothing, like,
these are me
yeah,
asking questions, and my
every day,
mind
yeah,
it will
like,
probably
no,
change and all this. This is the whole point of this podcast is I
yeah,
question everything.
yeah, and
So
a lot of people have that, like, hold yourself, because, like, literally everyone ripped my head off.
and
Hold yourself
I'm not
accountable.
saying to hold yourself accountable. I'm asking, do you hold
Yeah,
yourself
yeah.
accountable?
And I'm
Yeah.
saying I
I'm not
hold myself
taking
accountable in every action I had done, in everything that I did to stay alive, survive, to exist. Yes. I'm not like I would never not hold myself accountable to my own literal actions of what I'm doing. Like that only
it.
makes
This
all the
is tough,
sense to
like,
me.
but for me to understand, like, um, so you got, oh my goodness. So you're like in the room with this person, and I mean, does he just like start taking off his pants, or like, how does this even
No,
happen
he
at the
just
point where
starts
he
touching
starts to
me or
touch her?
holding me down. Like, there's so many different things. Like, the thing is, you have to understand there's shock. There's shock. There's not, like, I know what a healthy sexual relationship looks like, and I know what rape looks like. I'm not shocked when it's consensual. I'm not, like, freezing when it's consensual.
So you're
I'm
saying though that he did hold you down in like a certain
I've been he
position?
would hold my hips, he would hold my legs, I would try to scurry away, but, like, that's not enough for people, like, what does that matter? Like, I shouldn't
At
have to
what point
share
did
that.
you
This
feel like
person
it was all
touched
right
me
to leave then?
when it was done.
Was he
When
just
he
like,
got what he wanted, whenever he was satisfied, it was done. Like, it whenever I was done being used for his own gratification, I was safe to leave. Actually, no, sometimes he'd, like, literally hold me down on the couch and say, "Stay on the couch with me until I fall asleep," and I'd still be saying no because healthy people respect someone's no, but it didn't matter. So he'd hold me down, and I'd set an alarm because I'm like, "I want to leave, I don't want to be here," and then the alarm would go off. Sometimes he'd let me go. Sometimes he'd be like, 5 more minutes, please, please, please. And he would just, like, pass out on the couch and, like, literally just hold me under him. And then I'd have to, like, get out from, like,
do you think he like knew what he was? Do you think he knew what he was
a
doing? Do you
hundred
think he?
percent.
I mean, you can't really see
Victor,
that. So,
Victor, if somebody
yeah,
tells you no, are you still like,
yeah,
why are
good.
you like,
I hear what
no
you're
is
saying. Yeah, like
no?
no, no is no. Yeah, no is not.
And
No
it's
is.
not like it, like, I understand when people are like maybe like flirty, like, no, but that's not what I was doing. Like, I literally never explained myself so much to a person, like, in the fawning of it. It's like I'd be like, no, I don't want to do anything, I don't want to touch you, I have a boyfriend, I love my boyfriend, I don't want to. He'd be like, but I feel like you would like it. And it's like, Because again,
So
I'm honest. I'm
why
like,
did you feel like you were in survival mode?
because why am I fawning? What is
But
that's a
why would
thing
you
for
feel in
survival.
survival mode? Like during this time, like your finances are paid, right? You have a house and shelter and
Any
you have food. Like,
any form of being in your nervous system being unregulated, like you're in a survival mode. My nervous system wasn't, it was in a some type of alert, some type of panic. Someone's trying to harm my, like, touch me in weight. Like even if someone's trying to touch my hair, I'm like, don't touch my hair. Like this is my physical body. I own this. If somebody's trying to like touch it or poke at it, like this is mine. Like nobody has any right to touch my hair. Like even that simple. Like I'm on guard. I'm on like survival. Don't leave me alone. Don't touch me. Like if you're doing fawning, freezing, flight, like those are your responses to trauma, and those are for your survival. Just in all of the things we talked about earlier, to defend yourself. You might fight, you might freeze, but I fawned. And so for people who are like, well, eventually you gave up, like eventually I gave up. Like that's the best I could do. Like I
so do
fawned.
you think that like you're past this, or do you still dwell on it? Where are you with? Because to me, like also we were talking about like trauma stays with you, is what you said, and I was
Yeah, my
thinking,
body freaking hurts and I'm literally ill from it. And I'm not going to get into it, but like, yeah, I can feel it in my body. Like, there's days that, like, if I am not crying, because for me, coping is crying, like, because it's release, it's whatever. And if there's days where I'm not like crying, my body physically hurts, and it only hurts in the way that my body started hurting when I was experiencing trauma.
do you move past trauma when you forgive the other person? What is ways to
No, I
get past
actually feel
trauma?
like when it's not in your body, I think you can move past it, because if I feel it in my body, I know it's there. So, like, because feelings give you like the knowing. So if my body could fully release it, I feel like I'd be fine. Like, it's very irritating to like have a random period all the time now. To have like, I mean, I honestly don't like want to get into like my own like body and the things that are going on, but I'm still experiencing things from when the trauma was going on. And so because those things aren't done, it just is a reminder. It's like, well, why is my body feeling like this? I remember, I know why. So I think if my body can like finally fully release it, I will say it's gotten better. So I guess it takes time, but it's still there. Like I can physically feel it.
What do you think about things that are going on as far as I feel like this is parallel to the Epstein thing? Is it not? Or
I mean, it's the it I don't know, like, yeah, people have been getting raped and people haven't been being believed, because if they put themselves in the situation, it's their fault, and it's like, well, you need to take accountability, but like you taking accountability for showing up in a place doesn't guarantee that you're going to be raped, because it's that person's choice to do that to you. And your response to it is surviving. So like,
did you feel like this person was going to kill you? Like going back to like the
yeah, I
survival
think
mode.
that's another thing. Like when I'm saying surviving, it doesn't mean you have to get dead. Like it's surviving a situation. It's getting through a situation. It's somebody is causing some type of harm. I may not believe it's death, but it's something, is it a V word? It's uh somebody is like, oh my god, I can't
Assuming
think. Of someone is, to my body, they're violating me. Like a violation of my own body is very harmful, whether I may believe it's death or whatever. Like nobody should be violating my body in any way, again, even touching my hair. Like this is my body, you need to consent to however what is going on here. So like when people say like, oh, they're a survivor of sexual abuse or whatever, like it's not this, oh, she was gonna get dead. Like that's not what that means. It's surviving a situation that happened that was very like violating of their body, which they could have died. Yeah, sure, but like it's not to say like you're
At what
always
point
going to
did you
hit
feel like
dead.
you were in survival
Because
mode?
I
Like the
told you,
fifth
Victor, I said I
training
was
or what?
scared of him. Like the thing is, it's not like this boom, it happens. It's like this insidious, like little things, little things, little things. It's not like I went to his house and this happened. Like it's we build a connection. He's my coach. I trust him. We're friends. We're cool. We're good. There's there's that. There's not automatic like boom, distrust. Like there's steps here. So like this needs to be acknowledged as well because
Mhm.
I think if this was day 1 and he's already touching me, I'd be like, "Dude, what the heck?" But it's no, it's I trust this person.
Mhm.
We're cool. He says we're friends. Like that's where it becomes like hard to process in your own brain because you're like, my friend wouldn't harm me. This person I trust wouldn't hurt me. Strangers hurt you. People who are evil hurt you. Like you don't see it like that because it's just it's hard to believe that someone would do that to you that you trust
So this
versus
is
some
a good place, I
stranger.
think. So what are some of the like what's one of the first like what are some of the signs that you can now see like leading up to that like that you can give to other people like what was the first sign that you probably were like this isn't a good situation.
when he said that when he said that I couldn't see other coaches, when he was like possessive of where I was training and told me I couldn't like outsource, when he told me that I had to only train with him having private lessons and no other coaches because he told me it felt like I was cheating on him and I had only been there for 2 months when he said that.
Hmm. Was this at Jason Wink or what gym was this in New
No,
Mexico,
it
right?
was it was Jackson's Acoma. It's like the small version. I don't really know to be honest.
Hmm.
Like I thought they were like sister gyms, but to him he said they're rivals. So I don't know what the truth is.
So yeah, one of the first one was okay. Yeah.
Yeah, like just acknowledging like the possessive and isolation, like not wanting me to have other trainers. Like
Hmm.
to me, I didn't think that was weird, but like looking back, I'm like, dude, that's freaking weird as heck.
So on a different note, what do you think about the ice raids? Have you seen those on your news feed or what kind of
I don't really have anything about it. I just think it's like it's sad. Like I don't like people, I don't know, being taken if they're not meant to be taken out of here. Like if you're illegal, you're illegal. If you're not, you're not. And it sounds like they're kind of just like taking anybody and everybody without like really following what the law is.
is it reminiscent of Germany with Jewish people having to wear stars?
No.
Did you see the boats that are I don't know, maybe we should I don't know, keep you see the boats that get like blown up for smuggling drugs?
Mm-mm.
You ever hear of Russ, the artist?
No. I mean, I heard of them. I don't listen to them. Nothing?
I read his book and I was just thinking about the power of self belief and how we'll probably have to come and revisit that topic, Soph, about um, like everything that you went through and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's
I feel like you
definitely
definitely don't have your head around it, but like I feel like it'll take time because it's not like the thing is you have to understand, and I think sometimes because when people are black and white, they don't understand the nuance and complexity of it because it's not literally that simple. It's not just like this and this. Like it's the most opposite of this and this. And so I think that is where this could get messy maybe because I know you believe that, like your mind is very much like all or nothing or black and white kind of. And that like sexual abuse is not, it's just not.
I guess what I'm asking is what are those gradual steps that, yeah, got you there? It's just like, yeah.
Well, instilling fear in somebody. Like if you're afraid, you move in fear. So like if I'm not
Mhm.
moving in fear, I'm going to be more logical. But if I'm moving in fear, I'm going to be more through trauma responses, which aren't necessarily always, they're they're not like your logical brain, they're your survival brain. So looking at it in that sense, like because on the outside you can easily say so many things like do this or you should have thought of that. It's like, but you if you know somebody's not using their logical side of their brain, then you know why things don't really add up, or you know why the decision that they made isn't always seeming of the best decision. Like even looking at myself from like if I pick apart, like I'd be like, yeah, dude, you should have, like I could have been like, yeah, you should have fought back. You're a fighter. You didn't fight. It's like, no, I like look back, I didn't even try to fight. Like, but that's only one trauma response. And so I have to understand that like if this person's in this situation where there's um survival going on, fighting isn't the only one. There's four of them, and that person did one of them. So like, why am I gonna say you shoulda, coulda, woulda, da 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 when like they did one of them? Like you just said, you would try to fawn pretty much if somebody came in your house. You try to talk them out of it.
You're saying, yeah, but that's different than the scenario that you're giving me with this. You're saying somebody comes in your house, boom. You're saying that this is a progression. Different.
Well, not in the exact moment of it, the entirety of it.
Well, I'm not, I guess what I'm like, how do you go from sitting on the couch with Christian at your house? You get a text from your coach. I don't know what time it is. He's like, come over. You say no, and you don't make it the end of that. So that's how does that
Because I
happen?
told you, so like, okay, do you know how power dynamics work? Like, this is my job. This isn't my hobby. So, like, if I look at it in a hobby, it's like, this is careless to me. This doesn't really matter. This isn't that important. I didn't move across the country just for a hobby. I moved for a career. I put my time, I put my money, my family invested in me. Like,
But it's like you
there's a
know that
lot.
there's other coaches, right?
Listen. So there's a lot. It's like any job. Like when people get into a job
Yeah, but
and
it's
they're
like you know that if your boss asks you to suck their dick or something,
okay,
you're
so
gonna be
again,
like, no, I'm not doing that,
no,
right?
I came from a gym. Remember, I told you I came from a gym that they didn't even know my name. They didn't care, blah, blah. So when I switched to this gym, this coach was teaching me, right? I'm learning all these things. I'm also being told this is the best gym in this area. You're never going to find another coach like me. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know. Like, you're also being brainwashed and told all of these other things. Like, that other gym you were at, that gym's terrible. Like, what? Like, you're not just, I'm your coach. Like, this person's literally saying
Yeah, but
these
what
things
time?
like
At what
you
point
have
do
to
you
be
take a
all in.
break and
If
say,
you're
"I'm gonna
not all
step
in,
back and think about the situation I'm in"?
because it's so survival mode, your brain is not on the processing of a normal brain. So when my brain got switched on, when I said I started to figure it out, that's when I finally started processing. You may take years to get to that point, but I don't control that. Like, that's just how your brain is protecting you. Like, it's literally surviving. So it wasn't my choice to be like, this is when you figure it out. It just happened to figure out at the time I figured it out. Again, like I said, someone could take 7 years to understand.
Yeah, so survival mode doesn't sound like that situation to me.
But
Because
that's
I'm
what
thinking
it's
like a
literally
lions in
called.
my face type of situation,
Yeah, and that's like
or
the ignorance of
I
trying to
don't
understand what
have.
survival mode is.
So were you in survival mode once you walked into the gym? Like Christian
Probably
has
not.
it.
I
Does
didn't
Christian
even
have a
know
job?
him.
Yeah, so you're not in survival
It's
mode
not
when you get there.
survival mode of like, oh my God, I need money all the time. It could be survival mode of like, I need food or something. Like, because you keep bringing up finances. Survival mode is literally getting through this moment, getting through this now with a nervous system that's not regulated because of fear of harm. Like I told you, he put hands on me. Like I told you, he was scary. I told you I never processed why I thought he was scary, but I
Where is
knew
he?
he was
But he's putting
scary.
hands on you in the gym and stuff, right? And
Yeah. But I'm in a sport. Okay, so say I was a dancer and he put hands on me like that. In that environment, I would think that's uncalled for, like 100 million%. In fighting, I can see where you got to be tough. This
yeah, but
isn't for
somebody doesn't even need
babies.
to
Like,
put hands on you for you to get into survival mode either, though, right? Like, let's get that
no,
away.
no, they don't. But I'm saying like when someone put hands on me, it's like, yeah, it's it's abuse, but it's in the sport of MMA, so it can be written off. Like it can be understood. Oh,
So,
well,
did you
he was
tell
just trying
anybody
to be
that you were
hard on
scared
me.
in the moment when you started to feel scared? Did you tell anybody, "Hey,
I
I'm feeling
told
scared"?
multiple people he scared me. My brother, my boyfriend at the time. I told the stupid thing. I told my coach. He told all the kids in kids class because he lined everybody up and he said, "Do you guys know Sophia's scared of me? Isn't that crazy?" And he's like laughing and he's like,
So
"I'm not
he's
scared. Do
checking.
you guys think I'm scary?" And then he was like, "If you guys think I'm scary, raise your hand." And none of them raised their hand. And then he goes, "Do you think Sophia's scary?" And they all raised their hand.
Yeah.
So
So,
yeah, he knew I was afraid of him. Like, and I think that is another thing. Like, if you're afraid of someone, don't tell them you're afraid because I think that puts you in a vulnerable
so essentially,
position.
he used embarrassment as a tactic and groupthink as a tactic.
No, physical abuse as a tactic. He said he was gonna freaking punch me in my leg. Like, the dude was abusive. Like, he would, if you didn't get something right, he'd take the mitts and just be like, "Pow," and those like pound
Yeah,
you.
but I'm
Like, that's
saying though,
not
like
normal.
in front of the class, he was saying, "Who else thinks I'm scary?" And so he was trying to call you out, embarrass you in front of other people as a tactic.
Oh, I guess yeah, but like that didn't do anything. Like that, whatever. Like that was like very low scale. Like the stuff that I really didn't like was
So
like
would you
the
say that you were
extra.
trying to listen to other people versus yourself? Like you were trying to
No,
get
because I
some
wasn't
sort of
talking really to
advice.
other people that
You
were
just told me
giving
that
me
you
any
said to your
feedback.
brother and to
Any
Christian that
feedback.
you felt
Any
that you
feedback.
were
People weren't
scared.
giving me feedback. Like I would literally tell Christian I'm scared and he wouldn't really say anything about it. He wasn't like you should leave. No one said you should
So
leave.
what
Nobody said that's weird. Like they would kind of laugh. I'd kind of laugh, and then it kind of come to like this normalcy of you have a crazy coach.
I mean, was that their way of in between telling you to get out? And so are we hitting on the point that it's like super important to get in tune with yourself in order to figure this out because nobody else is going to give you the answer, like a horse leading you to water
No,
and stuff.
no, like that's the
So are
thing
you
you
still
don't
expecting that these
understand.
people are going to get it right and that you're relying on them to tell you what to do to get out of the situation? Because you're saying like if you felt like in a certain situation you were scared and then you ask these other people and they're just like, eh. So you more so relied on these other people's opinions versus your own.
No,
Okay,
no.
so how do
I'm
you
relying on
decipher
myself,
that?
yes, but I'm also relying on people to look out for me, right? No, it's
Yeah,
both.
but at the end of the day, nobody has the answers. So, I mean, I can say that now, I
Victor, if
guess,
I
but
went to
like,
you and I was like, yeah, I got this new boyfriend, he freaking slaps my butt all the time, I hate it, and he said he'll stop, but he doesn't. Like, you're just gonna be
I'd
like,
be like,
okay.
did you ask him to stop? And then I'd be like,
And I'd be like,
depending on
yeah,
what
I
you
told
say,
him to stop.
okay, I would be like, have you thought about leaving?
So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's not the advice I was getting. Like,
How come you ain't call me?
I don't know, because I had people in my like inner life that I was just talking to all the time. And like again, I'm not seeing it as like that bad. Like it's in a sport that's fighting, dude. It's not soccer. It's not basketball. Like if I had a coach that was like shoving my head in a basketball court, that would be I would see that different than I see somebody shoving my head on a mat when we're wrestling. Like it looks different.
How long have
So
you
like
been doing
I would
MMA
see
at
it
this
more
point?
extreme.
How long had you been doing MMA at this point?
Almost 2 years, but at his gym probably
And
like a
so
few
how many
months.
other coaches had you had?
One.
Okay, so you had some sort of baseline, like this is not how you
Yeah, I
coach,
had the baseline that I had was
right or
like
no?
he doesn't really do anything though. Like he doesn't really teach that well. God, this sounds so bad. I don't he was a great guy, but like he's not as qualified. He doesn't even participate himself. Like it was just like you saw this coach that was like, but then you saw this other coach who like really knew something. So like he seemed to have like much more valuable information and like to see the things that he does work, it's like, okay, he's a little hard on us. He's a little hard on us. Okay, I'm not going to be soft about it. So like you could kind of see where it was coming from and so like when you look at it on the outside, you're like, yeah, that's absolutely crazy. That's absurd. But if no one else is like kind of validating that and like seeing it too, you don't see it either.
And so were you looking at other coaches in the gym and being like,
There's no one
they're
else but
not doing.
him. Like he's literally the main coach. He'd get rid of everybody because he didn't like how they coached, and he wanted to teach everything because he wanted to
Where
control
was your
everything.
other MMA coach at? Not in, was it in New Mexico or what? A different
Yeah,
state?
at like
You went
the
to
rival
Thailand or
place that I
something.
wasn't allowed to go to anymore, even though when I first started, he said I could go there, but then he told me I couldn't go there. It was like so many contradictions. I couldn't, like, another thing is, like, I'd never been so confused in my entire life. Like, to just be in like a state of confusion to where it's like someone says this, but then someone says this, and you're supposed to like know what one he means.
And so like you don't feel like a sovereign individual then, like where you just have to take orders and you're like a
Like,
troop and a
I'm
robot
not
and
no, dude, I'm literally not processing. Like, if like, you just have to believe me. Like, I'm not going home and like sitting and pondering. I'm not. I'm literally like, it happens, life goes on. Like, and this is even things in like the gym. Like, it's not processing. Nothing is, I've never
but it's not like
experienced
you're
that in my
training
life.
the whole day and not have any time to just like decompress.
But so I said
Like
you either
how
believe
many
me or you
hours a day were
don't.
you training? Like when
So
you
I
went
said you
home
either
then you just
believe
like,
me or you don't. I'm not processing. I'm literally living in that present moment. So if it's like, man, practice was freaking crappy, you shoved my head, like I'm not sitting on that. Like it's not, I'm like, okay, gotta go to work, go to work. Like I'm not at work, like, man, he did, like it's just not in my head like that. Like it's just not. And you either believe it or you don't.
so are you saying
Because
one of the
the
keys to get out of these
time
situations is to find a moment of solitude to analyze what's going on in your own life?
I don't think that like yes, but like you aren't aware that this is so bad to sit and process. Like you're not understanding that these situations should have time to process. That's the problem.
And so is this because this is what I'm seeing as like a broader perspective in just life in general is that nobody seems to understand which direction we're going, which is to me not a good one. And so are people not sitting back and analyzing their own situation? Like, do we have leaders like this in our own society that are pushing us in one direction?
Dude, that's
Not
the
to the
thing.
bad.
Okay, so when you're living in a survival mode, you're literally kind of like an autopilot. You're just like going through life. But when you're not on autopilot, you can sit back, reflect,
Yeah.
look, pay attention. So if I'm in survival mode and you keep saying, "Well, you were going home after practice, you were relaxing," I'm still in a state of
I won't
survival mode.
even
It
say
doesn't just
survival mode. You're
turn
saying
off.
autopilot. You're in autopilot. Like,
Yeah,
is
pretty
survival
much.
mode
Yeah.
synonymous? Okay, so
Yeah,
that's
you
what,
could say so.
yeah. So that's why I feel like we're all being had on like a broader scale, which is that like COVID was the great reset for me. I'm like, wait a minute, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? So I can relate with you on that. Like, hey, get up, go to work, do this, have that, boom, you got it. But then when I sat back and I'm like, no, I don't have it. And then you see like other people, it finally dawned on me that like a lot of people are not like happy or like we don't have things together is what I like COVID. Like everybody just go in your house. Like we all basically just got manhandled, like you're saying, with this coach, but it was from a different perspective. It was a pressure from all different ways to go sit in your house and like everybody just fawned or
Mhm.
froze. And then this is where it's like the point where uh, that we can't expect somebody else to say something because then nobody says anything. And so this is like me just raising the sounding the alarm and like in Lord of the Rings where they see the army coming, but he has that snake talking in his ear and then he finally gets up there and throws the fire. The point is like, yo, we're not heading in the right direction. Like we have people dying all around us from either suicide or whatever it is, like taking drugs, like and it's like yeah, I just don't want to be Peter Parker to a certain degree. And I hear what you're saying because I am relating it to the situation about like how like no, this isn't how society should operate. No, we shouldn't all just be like there should 9 to 5. There has to be a different cooperation system and things like that. So maybe in some sense your coach is like running the country in some sort of way and having his take on all of us or whatever. Is any of that driving?
Some,
Like you feel what I'm saying or like I mean, how much sitting back do you
some.
do now? Like,
Well, no. Okay, so like for instance, like okay, when one time we were doing after practice, you put your hands in and you
yeah,
say break. And he
yeah,
said, let's say my nigga's on three, 1, 2, 3. My and I don't speak like that. I said it right
yeah,
now,
because
yes,
that's a
but I don't
horrible
speak
word.
like that.
Yeah,
So when you
that's
look out for
racist in
people, right?
itself
So
because
when
it's
you look
like,
out for people, you say something, right? But I'm the only one who says something. Maybe this person would have realized that's really not okay if other people would have stood up and said, yeah, that's not okay. But nobody came to my defense except for me. So like that's where I'm saying like sometimes it isn't just like maybe you need more than just you because when I did it, it took a long time for him to stop talking like that. And so I
yeah,
just think maybe if more people would have said something, it would have really registered with him.
yes, and yeah, no, I totally agree. And the N word actually is a curse word, and it's not right, like for you to be able to say that word, but I'm not allowed to be able to say that word. That would be racism in itself. Like you're treating everyone different. Then does that make sense? What I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, why am I allowed
Yeah,
and you're not? Yeah,
yeah,
but like
because I'm
yeah,
saying
I
it
don't
like
even say it anyway. So
yeah, no, I know, but some people like just because that word causes so much confusion, you can already tell that it's a bad word. Like confusion's not a good thing.
yeah, and I was literally in a state of confusion. So like, yeah,
But I
I
used
wasn't
to
in.
think like because I'm like this or that, like it's all right to say. And now it took me forever, like till I was 27, and then now it's taken me 5 years to even grow a pair, be
Did
brave
people
enough
ever
to say
correct
this
you?
online. Yeah, and I would say then it's like the analogy, like I can get the horse to water, but I can't make it drink. Because if I do force it to drink, then I'm really just drowning it. And then, because yeah, like Chachi said, I look back on some like the Facebook posts that pop up, and they're like, "Oh, you said this at this time." I'm like, "Oh my goodness, like how am I saying that?" And so I'll probably look
Yeah,
back at this at some point or whatever
I
and be
get it.
like,
So
"Oh
you're
man, I
saying
should have
like
said
as
something
much
different."
as people could have told you it's not
Yes,
okay, like
I
you
had to
still had
come
to
to
figure it
terms
out
with it.
yourself.
Yup.
Yeah, of course. I think that's with anything. But you don't think sometimes it helps when people do
No,
say
it does.
something?
It does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it
like that's
does.
what my point is. It's like I still think it's people's jobs when they see something, say something.
Yeah, yeah,
But
for
it's
sure.
not reliant on them to get you to see because
Yeah,
you figure that out on your
right,
own.
right, right. So even though you asked your inner circle and they were like, "Yeah, don't do this," or "That's crazy," like it still had to be like your own self to tell you that, like, yeah. And that I think that's where solitude comes in, like checking in with yourself is a super important key, and yeah,
Well,
just
I
like
don't know
taking
what part you're
inventory.
talking about exactly because
What?
like
Inner circle
so
with your brother and
well
Christian and
with the okay, so yeah, with the scary thing, sure, whatever. But like this is where this might get like confusing maybe too,
mm,
because it's like, okay, so control, like I have control over myself, right? Like you have control over yourself.
yeah.
So if I believe that I have control in a situation, I I don't see what's happening to me as abuse because when it's sexual abuse, it's not consent. So when there's no consent, that means somebody is doing harm to me. So if I'm not understanding that I actually don't have control, because control would be consensual, me not having control is unconsensual, is not consensual. So I'm going into these situations believing I have control when the reality is I do not have control. So I will never see it as like I am being harmed because it's like, well, I'm controlling this. I get to decide when it happens. I decide when I want it. I decide this, it's my control. But that kept me in it. That kept me not seeing what the reality was. So when it clicked for me was like when I literally lost control, shaved my hair off, I was like, why am I doing things I don't want to do? And I
You
say
went
no
Britney
and they're
Spears.
happening. No,
Britney
literally, I
Spears.
said that. I was like, I went Britney Spears mode because I lost control. Like, I literally had no sense of control anymore because these things are happening to me that I don't want and that I'm saying no to. So it's like, if I knew that I didn't have control, I would have seen it sooner. But I wasn't understanding that no, you don't have control. And that when you don't have control, like that is harm.
So you saying like are we saying to ask ourselves if we're in control of the situation? Um
There's
check
really
in.
nothing to ask yourself though, because you're not in like your logical brain's not on. Like, man, I could tell you all the stupid things I used to even think. Like, my brain wasn't working. Like, I was dumb. Like, was I wasn't even myself. I don't even like I didn't even like the things I normally like. It was like,
Were you blinded by what you thought you could achieve, which is like going to
no,
the
I didn't even
UFC or
care
something?
about that. I literally didn't care about being a champion. I just wanted to fight as a representative of Black Mexicans. I never was trying to make money because I know the sport, you don't make that much money. Like, it was just, I wanted to go do it. Like, yeah, sure, my coach was like, I'll make you a champion. But honestly, I didn't care to be a champion. I just wanted to do it and be representation.
So what is some advice to people to get to this spot that you're at now? Like how do you like what do you tell the younger generation? Like because it's just such a free for all, especially when we're like younger or whatever. Like yeah, I just go with what people are telling me like oh my goodness. Like
Well,
in
okay,
school and stuff and just
if you go okay, so like again, it's not just like this would happen like when people are abusive like that, they know what kind of person you are. I didn't have trust issues, okay? Like, I'm not kidding. If you're nice, you're kind, like, I'm gonna trust you. Like, I had no
Are we being
reason
abused in society? Are we being abused in society in any ways, or what do you see there? Like, I'm not trying to lead the
right
witness, but like,
now.
is like abuse happening in our society where we're not seeing it as a people? Like, and
Yeah,
maybe table that, but yeah, and keep going. But that's what just popped into my head. It's like, yeah, and okay, yeah, I don't, and one of the things that's like getting at me right now is that it's like some people don't believe in conspiracies, but that's like the biggest full of
cons like,
monarchy ever
cause
because
conspiracies are real.
well yeah, but like we all like not all of us, but some of us are in a conspiracy to say that Santa Claus is real. So you can see how a group of people come together and manipulate another group of key people, kids, into believing into something. Like you there people are part of the conspiracy just like that's a conspiracy in itself, is it not?
I don't know what conspiracy actually means, to be honest.
Like basically a cabal. Something is happening over here
A
where you're
secret plan
controlling.
by a group to do something unlawful or harmful. I guess in my idea, I wouldn't necessarily think it's harmful, but I know how you said like lying is bad and like
Yes.
you shouldn't lie to kids, but I don't necessarily see it as
But this
harmful
is where you're
because you're
saying it's a
bringing,
nuance because you're bringing them gifts and
well, I was gonna say you're bringing
pleasantries.
them joy and like having
But
fun and stuff like
it's
that.
like, dude, kids already have joy. You don't even need to bring up Santa Claus and they would still have joy. Am I wrong in that?
I don't think that's true for all the kids. A kid who's poor in poverty and maybe the mom for Christmas is like, I'm finally gonna like really get this kid something really nice and like I'm working
Yeah,
extra
but that's
hours.
hurting them then just as much because you're saying like the poor kids are the ones that don't even get to necessarily participate in the Santa thing,
Well,
and
you
Santa
just
might
said
not bring
kids
them
are well,
anything.
you just said kids are like full of joy. Like I don't think all the kids are always full of joy. Like some kids get traumatized at a very early age and like their joy is taken. Like
So before the thought of Santa even crossed my head, I remember being joyful. I did not need Santa Claus to come into the picture every year to say, "Oh, this is why I'm joyful because on December
yeah,
25th,
but this is also
presents are going to be
your
under
own
the tree."
experience. We
Did
are
you
different
have that
people,
experience?
remember?
Did you have that experience?
I was joyful up until I started getting abused by my coach. So I went like 27 some years full of joy. Literally never even knew what
Okay.
depression felt
And
like,
then,
never
yeah,
knew what anxiety felt like,
for sure.
never knew any of those feelings, never even had to want to numb myself, never. And
Yeah.
I'm a really old person to never have experienced that, but it's kind of rare. And so I think sometimes when kids do experience really traumatic childhoods, like their joy is taken very young. And so maybe for you, like Santa was the thing that I don't know, did
No,
it
no,
whatever
Santa's
up
not
until
didn't cause me
oh,
any
well, you said up until Santa and you said you were
no,
joyful,
I'm
right?
saying like without Santa ever entering the situation, like us just chatting about the
Oh,
stupid book and going back and forth. Santa wasn't a thought in my head about why I'm joyful. I'm joyful because I have life and I'm living and
yeah,
I'm
I know
sitting here with my
that.
cousin and we're going back and forth about a bunch
So
of
you
bull
think the
crap that's
reason of
hilarious.
so you think the reason of Santa is to bring joy to kids who don't have joy or something? Like I don't think that I think it's just
I'm saying that to think that there's not conspiracies is foolish because there's a conspiracy that happens every December 25th.
yeah, I think conspiracies are real, but I think conspiracies are actually like meant to be like harmful. And to me, I don't really see the Santa thing as harmful. Yes, it is a lie,
Yeah, and is it a
but remember I said
rejuvenation of
a
that lie over and over
surprise,
to make you
but a
do that?
surprise party.
I feel like
Remember
Charlie
that?
Brown too, by the way, a little bit
Well,
here, like where he's
okay,
like,
a surprise party. If I throw a surprise
yes,
party and I
yes,
have to lie to get you there,
yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a
is that
nuance or whatever.
I told a
But guess
lie.
what?
I
Guess
shouldn't have
what? Guess
lied.
what? Guess what? I would be happy if you set up the party and didn't surprise me at all because you threw a party in favor and honor of
I
me.
know.
Boom.
I know you'd probably love that, but I wanted you to be like shocked excited.
Ooh, either way, we still reach the same emotion. I'm happy that you threw
No,
me a
that's
party.
different. To be like, oh, is so different than just like, oh, thanks. Like,
Oh my
Victor, it's different.
gosh.
You know, it's different.
I thought you weren't gonna throw me a party and then you did. But But guess what? I didn't think you were gonna throw me a party until you said you were gonna throw me a party in the first place. Woo!
So then what? Life shouldn't have surprises that are planned? Because sometimes in
I
order
don't
to
know. I don't
surprise
know.
somebody, well, in order to sometimes surprise somebody, you kind of might have to tweak the truth a bit. Like, okay, so
Um,
one time for my birthday, Taya, like my best friend, was coming to New Mexico, and Christian didn't tell me. He told me we were like going to fly a plane or something. Like, I can't remember what the lie was, but he did lie to me. And then my best friend ended up being there, and I was bawling my eyes out because I was so happy and surprised. I guarantee I wouldn't have cried if I knew she was
so
coming.
where did he actually? I mean, but could he have surprised you without even saying that? Because it could have just been omission of telling you that your friend was
But
coming
omission of
in.
truth is still lying.
No, but that's like me. If you're not gonna ask me something, I'm not just gonna be like, "Oh, guess what I did today?" Like, why would I just randomly, unsolicitedly, just tell you something random?
Okay, well, now you're like getting so specific for like any scenario. Like, in order to give this surprise, like if it's my birthday, I'm like, where are we going?
If it's your
Like, what
birthday
are
and
we
you ask
doing?
me
Yeah,
where
I'm
we're
like,
going,
yeah, and I'm like,
well,
where are
then
we
yeah, I can
going?
take you to Pizza Hut and be like, "Yo, Taya, meet us at Pizza Hut." Sophie loves pizza. I'm gonna get her some pepperoni pizza. Meet us there. And I don't have to be like,
Why are we going there? I don't want pizza. It's
okay,
my
we can go
birthday.
somewhere else.
Like,
So
literally, I could say anything to where you may have to lie. Like, you can't automatically know what I'm going to respond, right? Because I'm can control what I say. So like I may say something that may have to get you in order to tell a lie. Like that's just what it is.
I could be like, hey, I have something that I don't want to tell you. Do you mind just like, how about we
I'm
do
not
this?
going unless you tell me then.
All right, Taya, come over here where I am at. And I just have her meet at the apartment or wherever we're at. All right, you don't want to go Pizza Hut? We're staying here. Cool, Taya, come here.
Yeah, okay. Well, then sure. Because you figured out every scenario for someone in a situation of a surprise, right? This isn't going to be every situation. Like, I can guarantee there's situations where somebody could ask a question to where this person may have to lie in order for it to work. Like if we look
Cops,
at this little
cops are
one
le-
situation,
cops are legally allowed to lie. Just FYI, like they don't. They can lie to get you to say something, which is crazy. But anyhow, um, yeah, I mean, dude, all these scenarios that you give me, I can say that I don't have to lie to you.
what if I'm like, is there anyone that we're meeting there?
And you know what's so crazy is that I could be
What if
like,
I ask that question? We're going to get like, is are there going to be other people I know there?
well, I don't know until I know, so I don't
That's
know.
a lie. That's a lie.
You
That's a
just
lie.
told me
Because
that
you
too.
told Taya to go there, to go to the
You
pizza place.
Yeah, but in one of the in the videos, yeah, but I don't know if she's gonna make it there. She could die on the way. Boom, she never made it, and I didn't lie.
I feel like that's like still partially a lie
This
because you
is some
know
sick
that you
society
sent
stuff.
someone there.
I don't know if she's on the way. I don't know where she's at.
Like, have you been like, okay, so you don't know if anyone's on the way. Like, have you been in contact with like any of my friends today?
And then I'd be like, "Do you mind not asking me that?"
And then we get into a fight and then we break up and I go home and I never see Taya.
Then you weren't the one for me anyway.
I guess not.
So I guess it worked out.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I don't know why you're being so private about your phone and you can't tell me if you've been talking to my friends.
Is there a question there?
Yeah. I don't know why you can't
What's
tell
the
me if
question?
you I don't know why you can't tell me if you've talked to my friends today or not. Like that
So
seems
so
like
now this is
an
like the
easy.
first second time I'm asking you, do you mind not asking me that?
Why are you so private about it? Like that just seems like a very simple question to answer. So then I'm already on to you, so I know someone's there. See, you ruined the surprise. You ruined the surprise. You
No, I
ruined
didn't
it.
because I didn't tell you the details. How did I ruin a
But
surprise?
if somebody were to